Hi, good evening and welcome to Tottenham Country Gold, your home to your classic games, classic content, and now classic Sunday night talk. With myself and the legendary, he is the legend, he is the man that has legend walk ahead of him. He's not only my friend, he's not only everyone else's friend. He is Talk to K. He is the legend himself, Mr. K. How are you this evening, sir?
Absolutely flabbergasted with that introduction, mate. I thought you were talking about someone else. I was patiently waiting to find out who you're going to put on. I didn't know you were talking
We
about
do
me.
have a special lady coming on in a minute, so I'm going to introduce her now in a minute. But how are you,
No,
sir,
it's
this evening?
how am I feeling? Yeah, it's really strange. It's a feeling which I haven't felt for a long time. It was the last time I felt like this was under Poch.
Yeah.
I think 2015 season, going into 16. It's like something was happening. I could see it being developed, and
Yeah.
that's what I'm seeing right now. I'm seeing a system of play. I can see it developing. We're starting to see some of its capability. With Sanchez and Amazon up front. Sanchez playing the number 9.
Yeah.
The most striking. Emerson on the left wing multiple times. What's going on there? The system is definitely. Conte seems to have a system. It's like anyone can score,
Mm.
right? Calmness in the back. Romero. It's like there was no panic in me. Was I worried? Is he going to muff it up? It didn't matter to me because he was doing all the competent things that I wanted him to do. I mean, sometimes Romero would come into the midfield to do a tackle. I mean, going past all the midfield players. And
I
I'm
know.
thinking to myself, wow, this boy is like, at the beginning when he first started off, he got himself a yellow card or whatever, right? Yeah. And I thought, oh, this boy could be a little bit risky, right? Yeah, getting red cards and so forth. Yeah. And I realized why. He's just missing the timing when he first started. The pace of the pace of the Premier League.
Yeah.
If you're a fraction late, bang, you're gonna get a yellow card, right?
Yeah, you are.
So he's got injured, come back, and I'm thinking to myself, if this is what it feels like for him just to be back just for one day, whatever, right? Yeah. Just imagine what it's like week in, week out. If we get something like 3 decent performances and 1 mediocre, I'd be super happy compared to what we
Yeah.
have before.
Yeah.
What was
I
your
think
impression of Romero today?
my impression was he brought a calmness to the back four. He brought that authority that we've been missing. I think he calmed Sanchez down an awful lot. He looked a bit more comfortable on the ball last night. Dyer had a bit of a thigh strain, so that's why he wasn't playing. But it was good to see Rodin get some minutes as well, I have to say.
Yeah, he
But
did go towards
he
the end.
is, yeah, he is the man. But listen, Mr. K, we've got to bring this lovely lady on. She is definitely is the general of our channel. She's the general of Will Stewart's channel. She's the 4-star general, and she's the one and she's the only 4-star general Ellie. Good evening, Ellie. Welcome to the
Great.
show tonight, and I hope you're
Good
okay.
evening,
Ali.
gents. Good evening. Lovely to. Thank you for having me on. Pleasure.
Absolute honour, Ellie. Absolute honour. Before we get stuck in with what we're going to talk about, the match yesterday and some of the surprises that have been today in the FA Cup, Mr. K, if I hit the comments, do you want to read them with your beautiful, relaxing, Liam Neeson voice you have? Because you should be doing audiobooks. You really should. You've got that calming influence on everyone. So we've got Carl Simpson. Good evening, Carl. Hope you're doing well, sir.
Carl Simpson saying, I love a cheeky Sunday stream, gents. Look forward to it. And we're looking forward to doing it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Stephen Cartwright, AFCON final. Just gone to extra time. Just that. Is that now? All right, there you go. He goes, can you delay the show until 10 p.m.? I've got to get to bed early tonight, so I'm not even sure if I'm going to be going past too long. Celery agents in the building. Good morning, he's saying.
Celery.
Good evening, good afternoon, good evening. Stephen Cartwright saying, just joking, Dermot. He absolutely loves your show. He's actually here. Forget about it. He's not going anywhere. Next, please. Moondog's in the house. Good evening, Moondog.
Good evening. And thank you very much, Moondog, for the donation you sent us. Yeah, if
he supports him. You know what? He's a good supporter of channels, he is, Moondog. And he's always got something important to say as well.
He has. He really does. My email address is on the descriptions in the YouTube channel. Or just send me a message on privately on Twitter. I'll give you my email address to sort out that thing you're trying to sort out for the lads. But thank you very much, Moondog.
Right, Lily White Lane's in the house. Evening, gents. Good evening to you, mate. Right, Scott M's in the house. Big up, guys. I hope you and everyone in the chat are doing well tonight after our big win yesterday. Scott, if you got an opportunity, you know what? Is there stream? Yes, in there.
Yeah,
You
I'll
wanna
put it in
on,
the
Scott?
chat
Put
already.
on a little bit later on if you can. You know, there's no rush. But yep. Big up, guys. Okay, right, done that. Wayne Bonner. Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening, everyone in the chat. Come on, you Spurs. That's right, all of you guys in the chat. Come on, I know you guys are going to say hello to each other. So this is us saying hello to you all first. Let's moving on in. Right, Mark Cousins in the house. Mark, how are you doing, sir?
Hey.
Good evening, marvelous people. Hope you're all well.
Let's get on Mark
Ellie,
as well.
Ellie, how are you at reciting or reading out comments?
Bad.
We should let you have one or two, don't you think?
Yeah, I think. Go on, Ellie.
Right, if there's any ladies, right, yeah, that are writing, if there's any ladies out there that write any comments, right, yeah, Ellie's going to read them out.
Yes. Come on,
Well,
right, Mark Cousins.
Yeah.
All right, Ben Kaufman, ladies and gentlemen, here is your host with the most. He's the captain, Sulu of the TTG. He is the general, and he's your mate, and my mate is Dermot Moyles.
Oh, that's an intro.
In there, right?
That's an intro. Right, you're doing that tomorrow morning.
I think I've blown someone's headphones off.
That's brilliant. Big up, Ben. Big up.
Right, this is Graham, by the way. Graham 59. Evening, everybody. Evening, Graham. Good evening to you.
Good
Wednesday,
evening,
mate. Wednesday.
Yeah. And I'll see you Sunday, Graham. I'll see you on Sunday.
No, I'm going to get there early on Wednesday. Right, Carterman. Farming Simulator. Really? You know what? That's actually quite fun. Love this show. And I love your icon with the farmer and a pitchfork. Yeah. We are Spurs, he says.
Yes,
Next, Ben Kaufman says, I'll probably forget it. You know what? Write it down. That's what I always say. Yeah. We have phones. Make a voice note. That's what it's easy. Move. Right, are we at the we are done. Ellie, how you been?
Right.
Yeah, good. Fresh from the game yesterday with my daughters. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it. And what a great performance and what a great win.
You see the way Dermot did that? He's so smooth, isn't he?
I think there's
right, listen, Ellie, your microphone's a little bit low. It could just be my headphones are not high enough. But let's put that up. Okay, listen, little question.
Yes.
Hang on. Sorry, we have a genuine legend coming on to the show.
I'm going to answer that question in a minute.
This man has the whitest teeth on YouTube, and he's got the biggest smile on YouTube. He's one of the nicest people. He may be controversial with his comments, but he's one hell of a nice man. This is an honor for me. It's an honor for this channel. Will you please, everyone, welcome the one and only Alex THFC.
Alex!
Good evening, sir. How are you this evening?
I love that.
Mr. Smile. I love that smile.
I'm all right.
I've got to put my sunshades
really
on.
I'm really all right. I'm all right, man. It's a pleasure to be honest.
Alex, how you feeling after that game?
Yeah.
Alex, how did that game make you feel? You know that game we just had. How did you make you feel, bro?
Box office, mate. Box office.
It was okay.
You think any of these players were any good?
I was there.
Yep. You any good?
I don't
like
think
him?
I can judge. I don't think we can judge new signings very early like this. You know what I mean?
No. He doesn't. Does he look like a donkey?
I wouldn't say that word. I wouldn't say that word.
Was he a stallion?
I think at the moment it's we have to wait and see. I think I'm not going over the top like so many people are. I think there's certain things that were good.
I mean, this one's a baby, right? This one's a baby. He's only 21. He's still young. Got lots of promise. Tall, athletic. He's still going to learn a bit about where to be with our team. But that's just going to be gelling in it over some time. Quick feed on this guy. Quick.
No, I think he's okay. I think he's okay, but like I said, I think it takes a lot of time for signings to settle in, and I think it's going to take time.
All it is, Alex, is just your initial impressions. It's nothing like. It's just your initial impressions.
As I said before,
your
I
debuts.
stick by what I say. I stick
by
what I say. I stick by what I say. I'm still skeptical at the moment. because
okay,
I think he's going to take a bit of time. I've got to say, hopefully,
he's got such a
his
nice smile
time.
though. Look at
Pardon?
that smile. He's got such a lovely smile though. He's like, come on, from one smiley person to another.
Listen. Like, I mean, I think at the end of the day, and I want to give the floor to Dermot because I absolutely thank you for your introduction, mate. Ellie, you're a legend. We disagree on Højbjerg, but you're a legend. I absolutely adore you.
Disagree, haven't we?
Yeah, well, whether we agree to disagree, you're a
Everybody's got
legend.
opinions. That's the main thing.
Exactly, and you're an absolute legend, pleasure. And the thing I love about you, Ellie, is that you take it like fun and games, and I love it. I absolutely love it, and this is why I would love to go on shows with you because whether we disagree or not, I know I'm gonna have a little fun with you because you just go for it, and I love that. Absolutely love it.
That's it.
So yeah, that's
We're all
what, and that's
Spurs
why.
fans at the end of the day. We shouldn't question each other because at the end of the day, we've all got our favourites. We've all got people that we don't think are as good as other people. So that's the main thing. Just stick together as Spurs fans.
Yeah, we're gonna disagree, but it's at the end of the day, it's all fun and games, and I'd rather have that and have a nice proper debate, and we all have fun, and that's it, and that's cool. And I love you, Ellie, and I love you as a person, Ellie, and I think you're a great person. But Dermot, I do certainly appreciate Ellie because you have stuck up for me when you did need to, and I have to respect you for that. I have to respect you for that. So, and but from what I see at the moment, and just going on my opinion at the moment, I don't like. I don't think because the thing is though. I'm now thinking like Conte and what Kane's been thinking at the moment. We want to win the Premier League now because, as far as I'm concerned, it's getting to a point now where, and watching Alistair Gold, you need to watch Alistair Gold because he said a lot of things that were quite interesting, especially the thing with Levy and Conte. He's been saying a lot of things to Levy, telling him some home truths, some big home truths. So. It's kind of now to the point now where, and it was interesting what he said in the press conference as well. He said, "I don't care about top four. I want the Premier League." You know what I mean? So,
bingo.
To me,
Settle
at the moment, that contract's till next season, isn't it? He wants a Premier League. Now, for me, Kane's contract's coming up soon as well. He wants the Premier League. This is a crucial time at the moment for Tottenham. And he's told them he doesn't like what's going on at Tottenham at the moment. He doesn't even like what Prestige's done as well, to be honest with you. So a lot of it's on Levy at the moment.
What has Pratt actually done that he doesn't like though?
The signings it's not been great.
Well, these last two, for example, or the ones previously.
Well, previously not been great. The whole thing with Nuno not been great. Let's be honest. The whole thing with Hitchin, I was wrong. I have to give it to Alistair Gold. I was wrong because it looks like to me he made this. He did the negotiation for all those signings. The one person that got it all wrong, Levy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like I said, I've got to admit when I'm wrong. I don't agree with what he said about the game. I certainly don't agree with what he said about the game, Alistair Gold. I will say that, but I respect him as a journalist because I think he's a fantastic journalist. And he does really, really well. So I listen to him a lot. But for me, at the moment, we're a counter-attacking team at the moment. For me, Brighton didn't turn up in that first half. Didn't turn up in that first half at all. We pressed really well. We worked really hard. But for me, if you play a team that who are two backs of four, or playing a decent team like Chelsea, like we done, we got beaten 3 times against Chelsea. Like I said, you struggle. So I need to see something more for me to move on. I still think we're not top 4. I told you why we're not getting top 4. 70 points or more, I stick to it. Simple as that. I'm not going to move on that until April. Simple as that. But there is progress. I understand where he's coming from. And the players that have gone out, I understand why they've gone out. We've moved on. You know what I mean? And the whole thing about Poch, this is the people on the football terrace as well who think I love Poch. If I'm still going to the games all the time, I obviously don't love Poch anymore, don't I? So anyway, that's my thoughts on it at the moment, and That's it, really.
Don't you think that 68 points? Don't you think 68 points or 67 points might get you for top 4?
Maybe, but that means the league's not that great, then, isn't it? Really? That's
well. I'm thinking to myself that a lot of the teams ahead of us, right? Yeah, they seem to be like winning and then tripping up, and then winning and tripping up, and it seems to be continuously like that.
Listen,
we've just strengthened our squad a little bit more.
Mr. K, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but for me, I'm not bothered about other teams. I'm not bothered about Arsenal. To be fair, I don't care about Arsenal because I don't think Arsenal any worries whatsoever. To be honest with you, I think they've done them. I mean, I wasn't worried about them when they were 4th because I thought they were going to mess up anyway because that team's not getting 70 points. Sorry, not with Arteta in charge. No way. Sorry, you're having a laugh. Manchester United will get top 4 at a push. Now, if they don't get top 4, there's an opportunity there, but it's only because other teams are worse. That's the only reason why we get top 4. It's not because Tottenham are great. So I'm sorry, I have to say that. You know what I mean? Because for me,
sorry you have to say that as well, Alex.
It's not flexible enough. There's not enough goals in that midfield for me to like it at the moment. I'm pointing at Højbjerg. I'm pointing at Winks. I like Winks, but I've seen things back. David was right a little bit there. I have to be honest with you. Skip
about what
he needs to develop. He needs to develop more.
Well, I thought it was quite a mature performance in the last game.
He was mature, but I think he needs to do more attacking wise.
I mean, think of it in terms of a squad player that's homegrown quota, right? Yeah, Winks. If you can put in a mature 6.5 performance going into every single game, then it kind of holds everything together. I mean, that's all we really want him to do. Just not stink the place out.
I agree with you,
but got his limitations.
Give us a Davis.
Go on.
I was going to say, Winks has got his limitations because he's not going to set the game on fire. He's good at keeping the ball, but he's lost when he's looking for somebody. He takes too long, in my opinion, because I was watching him yesterday, and he gets the ball and he seems like a little bit sensitive where to pass it. Whereas a fantastic midfielder knows when he receives the ball where everybody is, and he'll pick out a pass. I'm not saying he's rubbish, but I don't think he adds enough to our team to give us that extra edge. I think Skip is better with Højbjerg. I know Alex won't agree, but I think Skip and Højbjerg complement each other. And with Bentancur coming in, I think he's going to take that Skip role right off his feet. Because that Bentancur, in that, 10 minutes we saw him, 10, 15 minutes, he was on the pitch, he was fantastic. Receiving the ball when he done that little Jimmy. Yeah, and I see a lot of potential in that player, more than Kulu even, because he's going to add a lot more dynamics from our midfield.
Can you imagine adding 3 years to Kulu, though? Ellie, can you imagine adding 3 more years to Kulu in the Premier League?
Yeah, I agree, right? But I see Bentancur as a more vital cog.
Oh, right now, yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
our midfield's been atrocious all this season.
We need that sort of player to link play from defence into midfield and bring the ball.
Yeah, I agree.
I think was supposed to do that and he didn't.
I think what you're trying to talk about is you're trying to get past the lines of midfield, basically, isn't it?
Yes.
That's what you're trying to say.
Yeah,
because at the moment, because at the moment we don't have that Dembele going past the lines at the moment. You see what I'm saying? It's all on Kane, Son to score goals, and for me, you need more goals. You need more goals from midfield. And
you know what else I was going to say? Emerson surprised me, right? But Brighton surprised me as well because they didn't put anybody on him because they thought, he's the weakest link. Everybody's been slagging him off, right? Nobody was on him. Nobody was pressing Emerson, and he had free rein.
Oh yeah, but he has speed as well. His pace was good. Once he got going,
he kept it up. Yesterday, even though he didn't meet that goal, he was making really brilliant runs, and no one was picking him up from the Brighton team. They probably thought this bloke can't play, but he can.
Well, he scored a goal recently, right? Look, recently, I think the first international he scored, right? Yeah, and he does it after he signed the contract, so he's really up for it. I mean,
listen, Bentancur needs time. I think at the moment we need to see how he goes. He needs to settle into the country. If he hits the ground running, I
Yeah,
always say
8 o'clock Wednesday, Southampton.
If he plays well the first couple of games and he does really well, he will have a fall off. That's the problem with when you start really well, you do have a fall off.
Okay.
So it's about seeing how he settles in, and that's it. I think he's got some skill. Like I said, I think he's got a potential to get past the lines of the midfield and run with the ball and trying to.
Good at
The thing is, though,
intercepting as well. Reading the play.
Intercepting is important, but I think it's also trying to attack as well, trying to make that approach of possession. Because for me, as a Tottenham fan, I like teams that
No, what I meant,
position.
Alex, what I meant was when he intercepts, he gets the ball and then passes it in the right way.
I don't dislike people that pass it though. I like people that run with the ball because I like possession.
He's wise enough to decide what to do. If he wants to run, he runs. If he needs to pass, he passes.
That's what I'm saying, but I think he needs to take the spot. This is what I want to see more of our midfielders doing, because especially the foreign ones, unfortunately, because of the foreign player rule, because they need to be really up for it at the moment, because unfortunately, because of the foreign player rule of how many foreign players you can have in the squad, they're under pressure at the end of the day, because if they're not good enough, we're going to have to ship them out because we're going to get other foreign players to place them. That's unfortunately a fact, unfortunately, isn't it? So my point is that I would like a midfield that I want to score goals, but also want to go past the lines and attack, and and not just rely on Kane to go come back and make the passes and create. Because for me, it doesn't work for me. You know what I mean? That's why I say it's Kane FC, because I don't. You need a team that are flexible. And
did that look like Kane FC yesterday? I mean, in terms of the game.
I'm still a bit. You know what I mean? Still a little bit.
Here's a question, Alex.
You know what I mean?
If you don't mind me asking, basically, we've got an awful lot of response from an awful lot of fans that are saying that they are impressed. Maybe they had lower expectations for somebody on their debut in the midfield, but for the 10 or 15 minutes that they saw Benteke for, they're generally impressed. Can you understand why they feel impressed?
I can understand it, but at the same time, I know I've seen it, done it, had the T-shirt with Tottenham for very, very many years. I've seen Tottenham, being relegation candidates under.
Okay, but listen, you say you can see it. What is it that you can see that they see about this player?
I can see what you're saying. He did some good interceptions, but again, he's only just started.
What do you mean? He either did good interceptions or he didn't. The button against previous.
But what I'm trying to say to you, Mr. K, is that at the start, and I think what Alistair Gold said was quite crucial. It's like when it's your debut, you want to get on. You want to make a good impression to your teammates, don't you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you don't want to go too over the top, and make an absolute mistake and cost your teammates, don't you? You want a good impression of your teammates. So at the start, you are a bit tense, and it's important to get used to the atmosphere, intensity, like I say. So because the Italian league is slow, so they need to get used to everything, and that's going to take time. You know what I mean? And the thing is, though, everything I'm saying, Conte's saying. You know what I mean? Conte's saying. I'm not saying anything different to Conte. You know what I mean? When I listen to his press conferences, who are much better than Nuno's, by the way, he's so engaging. Whether I agree with him or not, that's here nor there. I can listen to him all day long because this guy knows what he's talking about. He's elite, 100% elite. Okay, he knows what he's talking about. Yeah, and there's a reason why he's having harsh words with Levy as well. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's quite funny actually. It's everything that's happening this week, and now you hear rumors about us getting sold. You can piece it together a little bit, but that's me speculating. So, take it up what I'm saying. But I'm just saying that,
how much truth is there in us getting sold, though?
I will tell you. I will tell you privately off air. I know something. I will tell you privately off air.
Okay.
So I will tell you privately.
Okay. No worries.
No problem. Right, Alex. Great. I tell you, great intro, man. That's brilliant. That's what I love. You come on the show, you and Mr. Cato. I can just sit back, read the paper, eat a bit of popcorn, go off and do a bit of nine, and I know you two are doing it so brilliant. Right. Right, I want to ask you 3 questions. Harry Kane scored his 300th goal for club and country yesterday. He's actually scored 21 goals this season altogether in all competitions. 5 for, I think, for England and the rest for Tottenham. Start with you, Alex. Then they go to Mr. Kane. Then they go to you, Ellie. Do you think whatever Kane had in his system is out now, and we're going to see the best of Harry Kane now for the rest of the season?
Ladies first.
Yeah, go on, Ellie. You first, then I go, Alex.
You go first.
Okay.
You go first, Ellie.
On Harry Kane, I was at the match yesterday and I was watching him. He's fabulous. He played absolutely stunningly. What a great player. Not only is he a fantastic finisher, good link player, can pass the ball. He's got everything, that man. Strong, challenge for everything. I think he's going to go even stronger now. I know it's hard to say that he's going to go stronger because he was brilliant yesterday, but I still think he's got an extra little bit of a mile in him as well, right? And he looked happy, and it came out after the match. He said he's very happy with Conte's ways of playing, and I don't think we are a counter-attacking team because I didn't see that yesterday. What I saw is a very, very polished performance, all playing for one another, all playing hard, and as a team, right? And we pulled together, and you could see the joy on everybody's faces. It was like it was inevitable that we were going to win. We were confident because everybody looked around. They see Romero in defence. What a great player! Not just calm. He's so good at following the play. And he positions himself just at the right time to intercept. The most fantastic bit of the match was when he took Lamptey out, and I looked at Lamptey's face, and he was right cheesed off, but he got clattered, but in a fair way. Because Romero, he knows just about enough not to get himself a yellow card. Fantastic player. And he calmed Sanchez down. Sanchez looked very, very confident yesterday because he's taking the lead from Romero. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Alex, you've been Harry Kane's sort of biggest critic this season, rightly or wrongly. You've been on Dave's channel. You've said some things that he should be sold. Do you still stick by them comments, or is Harry's performances now, since Conte came in, are you changing? Are you now getting on to Harry needs to stay at the club?
I stick by my comments because I think he wants the Premier League. He's outgrowing the team. I still stick by my comments because I think he wants the Premier League like Conte, and he's not signed that contract without getting the Premier League. And the reason why I say that, he's not a Premier League legend without that, and he knows that. And I see that why, because certain players that are worse than him have done more than him, and that gets to him. You see what I'm saying? Because and other clubs are saying this, other fans are saying this to me. So I don't need people telling me anything else because I've heard it from other people, and so I know in my heart there's a shelf life, and he knows that he's at the top of he's in his prime at the moment. That's why he wanted the Man City move. You see what I'm saying? But Man City messed up last year, to be honest with you. But also Tottenham focused too much on him as well. And I think with Conte at the moment, he knows he wants the same thing as him at the moment, but there's only so much he can do at the moment, like I said. And I think it's interesting to hear what Alistair Gold said. I'm sorry I keep on referring back to him, but the fact that he's been telling Levy what is some home truths, hopefully he's realised that and things will change, and we will be leading towards that Premier League title, because for me, it said a lot in that press conference from Conte saying, I don't care about top 4, to be honest with you. I don't want to talk about top 4. I want to win the Premier League. And that's music to Kane's ears for me. So for me, if Kane's happy when he wins a major trophy, and that's a Premier League, okay, whether people like it or not and want to hear it or not, that is the truth, and I'm sticking by that all day long, because Kane goes back to England and he talks to Henderson, who's more average than him, and he says to him, "Oh, what have you won today, Alex? Harry Kane? Oh yeah, I've got my accolades. I've scored goals. I've done this. I've done that. Oh yeah, I've won the Champions League. I've won the Premier League, mate." Bantered.
I mean, supposing, right, yeah, that in a year's time, right, yeah, he gets himself transferred over to Man City, and in 3 years, right, yeah, he wins the FA Cup, the Premier League, and the Champions League, and then he's off to set records in terms of scoring goals, break them 500 goals and stuff like that. Go up to again. I think this guy is far from over the hill. I think he's just getting smoother and better. He's becoming more versatile, becoming more useful, and enduring inside the game. I mean, this guy's on there for 90 minutes, where a lot of other players they seem to come off at 83.
No, I'm not saying that he's not. Listen, that's not what I said. I said he's outgrown our team.
No, Alex, I'm not saying you see anything. I'm just putting my defense in. I'm just basically saying
yeah. I want to make it clear. He's a fantastic player.
I'm thinking that because of his versatility, where he's a football intelligence, he's able to move deeper inside and allows maybe some of the younger ones that are faster than him to be able to shoot past him. I think that's football intelligence. Plus, on top of that, it's like respect from the other, saying, we understand that Kane knows how to pass the ball, and he can do it quickly enough, right? I mean, not every man can pass the ball all the time. Sometimes you make mistakes. Sometimes you hog it. Sometimes you try to slash at it. But on the whole of it, if the team can start to gel together and fight for one another and be there for one another, then there is going to be more chances of people passing it at the right time. Releasing the ball, just that fraction of a second earlier, because he did one release of the ball where the ball, I think, went between his legs, where he hesitated, and because he hesitated, the ball ended up between his legs, and Son was on the other side, and Son ended up going a little bit further than he should, about 2 foot. If he'd got the ball earlier, 2 foot earlier, he would have been able to either get it in or get a foot on it. And I think that instinctiveness right here is going to start to grow between him and Son. And if we get that back, oh my days, can you imagine that? Ellie, Sonny played quite. Sonny ran around a lot, sweated quite a bit. It's a good workout for him. Come back from injury.
Yeah,
what do you think of him? I mean, we need him, right?
Pretty good. Yeah, he's pretty good. Linked up, play well, worked hard.
If we want to win a cup,
and that run that he did was superb.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you want to win a cup, right? Yeah,
wasn't it?
Yeah, beautiful. I mean, he burst right through them like the Burnley one.
Beautiful.
He went through like 5-6 players.
It reminded me of his Burnley run. It was a bit more deeper, but he ran straight at the heart, and no one can catch him. Once Solly's getting his legs going, no one's going to catch him. No. He's like a whippet. Whoops.
Ellie, very quickly.
To watch.
Yeah, very quickly, Ellie. I've got to bring on, I think, Alex's biggest supporter. I mean, this man supports Alex everywhere he goes.
Yeah, everywhere we go.
Yeah, Alex is a bit shocked by that. Right. His name is Carterman Farming Solutions. You need to turn down your audio over there, Carterman.
Hi there.
Don't mind.
TV in the back.
Yeah. And also, while I'm talking to you, John Fitzpatrick asked me, could you come on? John, the link is in the description in the chat. If you want to come on, you're more than welcome tonight.
We can hear the background, mate. We can hear your TV.
Yeah, can you turn down the noise in the background?
Yeah,
Carterman?
It's you.
Yeah, no, it's us. We're all there here.
On the TV.
Man, check out that nice CD and record label library he's got in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ceiling floor to ceiling.
Oh, I can show you more.
How are you doing, sir? How are you doing?
How are you doing?
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Not too bad.
Mr. K, you're not always right, by the way.
Who?
No, I'm not always right.
No,
Mr. K is
not
always
right. But anyway, sorry, I'm not going to say no more until I'm asked to be spoken. Okay?
Fair enough. I'll just give you a quick update. The African Nations Cup's gone into penalties. I think it's 2-2, isn't it, Ellie? Yeah. Senegal and Egypt have missed one each, so it's 2-2 penalties. So we will give you an update when that's finished. Go on, Mr. K. What were you asking? You were speaking to Ali about Sonny.
If we have any type of aspirations to get ourselves into Champions League, to maybe attract a slightly better or complete a package in terms of transfers coming in, really kick us on for a league win next season, we're going to need to attract some of the big boys. They might come just for Conte, but really getting top four would be really handy for us. With Sonny coming back, it's going to be kind of crucial if Sonny and Kane can hit it off.
Yeah. Well, you saw yesterday they were on fire, both of them. So we need them. It's vital. It's vital.
Listen.
Just like Romero in the back is vital. With Dyer coming back as well, we're going to be a more solid unit at the back, and we'll be firing up front with Sonny and Kane. Because
Listen,
the first half of the season wasn't that fantastic for Kane. He's picked up now. So now Sonny and Kane together, with the support of the new players, Bergwijn can do a number 9 role, even though he missed the sitter yesterday. I still got confidence in him because he's a very talented player.
Yeah, I was shocked he missed that one.
But listen, everybody can miss a goal. He just leant back. But I think Sonny and Kane are vital for that top 4 position. And if we don't make it, I'll be crying. I'm telling you, because
Alex,
I think I don't agree with Alex about that. It's because the other teams are not good enough.
No. What I wanted to answer Alex, based upon what you said, Ali.
You always deserve what you put in. You put in, you'll get out. Obviously, it showed last season under Mourinho.
So when we failed. Ali, basically, so in a nutshell, certain amounts of our aspirations are they really need our top players to really start get going. Alex, if we want to take on some of the big boys, don't we need both of those players to be playing top notch? And if they are, can't we take the big boys out or not? Or do you think we're still nowhere close to them?
No, because like I said before, this is why I put the analogy in, saying Brighton are a better team than us. And other there's another team as well. West Ham are a better team than us at the moment, and I feel ashamed saying that.
Well, Brighton played like shit though.
But my point is that I still stick by my statement because they've been as a team for quite a while. They've been for 2 seasons.
Ellie, hang on, Alex. Ellie, let Alex speak. Don't try to overspeak him. Let Alex have his say, and then we'll come back to you, Ellie.
I'll let Eddie speak afterwards because I really love Eddie's passion on this one. But I say, no, don't say sorry, Eddie. Don't apologise, Eddie. We all love you. Don't worry, man. Like I said,
Alex, please.
Like I said, I stick by my point about the team. You know what I mean? Because the team is important. And people have to contribute, you know what I mean? And I'm not just talking about defensively, it's attacking wise as well, because that for me makes you more flexible. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I like.
You not see a flexible system being played against Brighton when you had defenders coming in a 9 position.
I think Romero
can you get?
Romero is 100% world class, and I know this now because I've seen it how many times now. I've been at the stadium. Right. This guy, and everybody says it, when you're there and you see him play, this guy, and the thing is, I had to apologise to Mari. I had to apologise to the lady from Cheese Room. I forgot her name. I do apologise. Yeah. They were defending him massively, and I said, I don't believe you until I see it. I saw him against Chelsea. He bantered Lukaku. He bantered Ronaldo. He bantered Ings. He bantered all those strikers. And I'm telling you now, and I don't big up players for no reason. I don't need to big up players. You know what I mean? Because that's the whole point. You know what I mean? So I'm telling you now, Romero is world class. I'm so glad he played in the centre as well. He played in the centre as well because he looks better. And the thing is though, the thing that's great about Romero, you don't look worried. You're not worried.
Yeah. You
do not worry about it because he's so good and he makes Dyer look good. I tell you that 100%, 110%. Honestly, you know what I mean?
Back in the day when Dyer first came out, right? You're playing for our team. He played a little bit on the right wing as well, on the right back wing, right? Before he went to midfield position. So he used to be able to switch between those 3 positions of central defense, right back, and basically midfield. Cartman, I just want to bring you in right now. Thank you very much for coming on. Dude, what was your overall impression? Any takeaways from the match the other day? And who do you think stood out in your mind as you thinking, you know what, I like a bit of him?
Like a bit of... No. I actually think that Spurs played absolutely amazing. They are the Spurs. Simple as that. I mean, they did what they had to do.
Yeah. Score goals and let one in.
Look, you can look at the individual players. I thought Sonny was a little bit rusty. Let's put it that way. I would say Kane was absolutely on fire.
Definitely.
I thought Sanchez was absolutely incredible. Let's
agree.
You know, I love that man anyway, but that's another day because of the stuff he's done. Romero was like, for me, he just wasn't noticeable, but he did the job. That's the point. He's there, and you just don't notice him when he does it.
Did you not see? Oh, you're right. I do get your point. I do get that. That was what the reassuring part was. Didn't need to worry about it.
He's not around. Oh, I'll kick a ball out or something like that, and he's there and he done it. Who else? Well, the two the new signings, I'm not going to say anything about them because that's just silly to do that. And I think Harry Winks was absolutely amazing at times. So there you go. There's mine.
Very, very interesting. Your audio seems to be a bit funny. Is that right? Would you say so, Mr. K?
Oh, sorry. Is it?
No, it's okay.
It does an awful lot of this crackle. I think the best thing to do is put yourself on mute, and when you need to speak, just unmute yourself. That's the best way.
Yeah.
For me. Oh,
yeah, just whenever you need to speak, just unmute yourself, and then you can then speak.
I think the best thing to do, Carter Man, is to come out, and then try to come back in again. Do that.
Fine, though.
Okay. Just log out and try to log back in again.
I mean, you never know. It might not be him. It might be Ellie.
Yeah. Well, just... yeah.
You reckon the poor guy come out and go back in for
the woman. Yeah. Always blame
Alex,
the woman.
The reason why I did that was because we got this... we don't think he's that Wembley one. Yeah. Yeah.
Alex, this guy's got bigger.
Carter, man, we're going to have to put you a bit of a time out, man. Sorry.
When we're in the dark, right? Yeah, about what's going on with our club.
Yeah,
Alex.
Sorry,
he's the beacon of light.
I just apologise. I've had to put Carterman a little time out there, just to give him time, just to get a few coffees in him.
Shall I continue then, or you want to chuck in a few things?
Go on, Mr. K. Go on. You're happy.
Ellie, Ellie, I really want to come back to you, right? Yeah, because I think the complementing difference between yourself and Alex, right? Yeah, we really get to cover an awful lot of ground as long as we stay in that part of Højbjerg. What do you think of him? Yes. I mean, in terms of he's been our captain. He's been solid, right? Yeah, he let in one goal, but he wasn't really his fault. Double deflection, I call it. But on the whole of it, that's what you want from your captain, isn't it? Get a nice, solid backup result there.
He was trying to block it.
You've got him for 2 years. The young players are coming through. He's still the captain. This might be an interesting time for Lloris's last 2 years. What do you reckon?
Yeah. Well, I think they're going to keep Lloris as captain. They won't give it to Højbjerg. They won't. But having said that, he's like a captain anyway. He doesn't really need the armband because everybody listens to him. You can see he's telling players where to go all the time. And he's tracking the ball. Oh, are you laughing? What are you laughing at?
No, it's separate. Comments and talk. So don't split between the two.
I'm not laughing at you, Ellie. I'm laughing at Shamu's comment. He thought he was a big trolley too.
No, right. Okay, that's enough about that. Anyway, sorry.
I disagree with Alex. I'm sorry, Alex, that I've interjected there because sometimes I get a bit passionate about my Spurs. I disagree that Brighton are a better team. Come on, Alex. Come on.
Brighton, I know. You slip that one past us, and I said they played like shite.
If they were better,
that's what you're talking about, Geezer. You're thinking your mind, look with your eyes.
Yesterday, we proved that we're a better team all round.
We slapped them in the first half.
We're a better team than them. We play as a team. They were very poor yesterday, Brighton. They didn't give us much trouble. Let's put it that way.
I think they can play much better. I think they play much better than that.
Their best player is Basuma by far. I'd love to have him. It'd be a great acquisition, Basuma. Yeah, it'd be brilliant. But other than that, they're very poor. Their finishing is rubbish. They've got no one. They've got Welbeck, who's about 55, coming on.
Right. He still looks a youngster, though. He's got that forever youthful face. But he's still.
Yeah.
I don't think. I think I was a bit shocked.
Brighton?
Yeah, you know what? I was really shocked that Brighton put up a terrible fight in the first half. It's just it wasn't like that.
What did you make of that, Mr.
K? Sorry?
Yeah, what did you make of that, Mr. K?
I don't know. They seem to lack a certain degree of confidence, right? Yeah, trying to pass the ball around. In terms of getting it through the middle, they weren't nowhere near it. They were going through the ends, going through the sides. What we did, right? Is the whole team decided to flatten in half and then squeeze up against the flanks, and that prevented Brighton, right? From using the normal channels of the flanks to get the ball around. Right, because that was quite clever by Conte, and because they're flattening across there, that's what was enabling people like, for example, Sanchez and Emerson to swing all the way around to be in the forward position for the attacking goal. Once we squeezed them there, got the ball pinged at them, is one pass, two pass, and bang in the back of the net. So that was kind of a clever tactic that Conte used against Brighton. And I think to myself, you can get away with that if you're playing at home. Maybe when you're playing away, maybe the Brighton might have a slightly better and more intricate sort of plan to get around you. But that was quite. I think that press that we did, whether it's forward press, side press, right, or whether it's a central block, right, was quite effective against Brighton. But having said that, they still managed to get the bloody ball in, and they still managed to get a few chances. And if it wasn't unlucky for them, we could have been at least 2 goals down.
Yeah, it could have been. Really could have been. We've done about the Brighton game, which I think we all agree we played well. The draw. Now we've got Middlesbrough away in the next round, but I want to talk about the draw in a whole. And also yesterday, Kidderminster nearly beat West Ham. Plymouth nearly took Chelsea all the way. Them 2 teams were lucky. Now, I want to start with you, Ali, then I go to you, Alex, and then I go to you, Mr. K. The likes of Bournemouth won today. And the Watford 2-0, I think, with Burnley. Do you fear anyone in this draw? I mean, the whole draw is Luton, Chelsea, Palace, Stoke, Peterborough United, Man City, Liverpool against Norwich, Southampton against West Ham, Middlesbrough away to us, Nottingham Forest against Huddersfield, Everton versus Bournemouth. Do you fear anyone in that draw? And do you think Tottenham could actually get to the final? Let's start with you, Ellie.
I think we can get to the final, but I want to avoid Chelsea. I fear them. I don't fear Liverpool because we played fantastic against them at White Hart Lane. As long as we get them at home, I don't fear them. I think we can get through them. Man City, we've beaten them already. So, and without Kane, and we weren't even, that was right at the beginning of the season. So, the only one I fear is Chelsea for obvious reasons because they're our bogey team at the moment, and for quite a while, I think we've only beaten them 4 or 5 times in the last 20 years. So, yeah, I'd rather play them in the final because we've beaten them in 2 finals. So we're going to go for a hat trick. You see, you've got to think positive, Dermot. You've got to think, let's get them in the final and show them what for in the final and beat them. And then they can lose the other final to Liverpool as well. That would be fantastic. They'll have egg on their face then. Yeah, because I don't like Chelsea. I don't like anything about them. So if we don't get them in the final, I'd like to get someone like, I don't know, probably Everton would be a good one. So we never played them in the final. But I don't fear any other team but Chelsea.
Alex, same question to you. Do you think is anyone we should fear in the cup, and do you think we can actually go all the way to the final and actually win it for the first time in 31 years?
I will say I'm going to be honest. No, I don't. Like I said, I don't. I have to disagree with you about the game. I think it was okay. I think it was two mistakes. Going back on what I said about the Brighton game, I think if two mistakes from Brighton, that's the reason why we scored the goals. You know what I mean? Because Emerson's goal, I don't discount it because he didn't mean it, and you need to see what Kane's reaction was, and that's why I know he didn't mean it at all. So I think at the moment we're plodding through because we work hard as a team at the moment. We're going to get unstuck against a team because, like I said before, we're not a possession team. We're a counter-attacking team. I disagree with that highly because I speak to other people. They say the same thing I said, and I stay by what I say.
I speak to a lot of people, and they say the same thing I say as well.
It's a counter-attacking team that, are good on the break. And the thing that really worries me at the moment is that people keep on telling me if Kane and Son are still are not injured, we've got a good chance. That's not a team. That's not a squad.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Wait, Alex. Just for 1 second. Hold on. You got two of the best players in the world, right? Yeah.
Let me just finish.
You take them away that you can still win.
Alex, let Mr. K speak, and then you can respond to Mr. K.
I'm sorry, Alex. Alex, what you just said, right? I'm sorry. The only reason why I'm interrupting, right? Yeah, is because that is an absolute crap of an answer.
That's wrong.
Not your fault.
That's wrong.
It's a misconception that maybe you have. No. If you take away the two biggest players you've got with the world class out of your team. Are you telling me that you
oh gosh, this is gonna be so much fun.
You look at the FA Cup run. Look at the FA Cup
this is gonna be so
much fun out there. Okay, listen, okay. Let me speak now for a second, right? Yeah, we're not arguing. I'm just explaining something to you, right? Out of that whole list, right? Yeah,
there's only muted him for you.
Yeah. There's only 3 teams out there, right? Yeah, if you look at it, it's Man City, Liverpool, and Chelsea in that whole draw that we could have difficulty with. If somehow we can make it into semi-final to face one of these teams and the other 2 teams in the other semi-final, then we got an opportunity, right? Yeah, in a one-day knock, right? Yeah, to get ourselves into a final. Now I know it's hard, but the thing is, we are the 4th team there, though, guaranteed. If you look at that, look at all the teams that are there. We're the 4th strongest, right? And guess what? On Wednesday, we're going to go and prove it.
You haven't,
Alex.
finished.
If you take away those 2 players, right? Yeah, this guy over here, Harry Kane. You take away Sonny. You're losing a big time amount of firepower in your team.
It doesn't make sense. Okay, I haven't even finished my point. That was the point because you interrupted me. My point is, it's not a squad. It's not a squad. This is the whole argument last season because everyone's bigging up the whole thing last season. I said to you, if Harry Kane and Son are not in the team, what happens? We flop. That's the whole point. It's not a squad. You see what I'm saying?
Proving your point, then.
Liverpool. Yeah, but
proving your point.
No, I'm proving my point already. You need a squad. Now, if you don't have a squad, if you don't have a squad that is a flexible squad that works hard for each other and come in and don't worry about players that don't play, okay, you've got a chance. But if you're gonna worry about Kane and Son not playing, I'm sorry. You're not got. It's not a squad.
Listen,
simple.
Alex, over the last few years, you know, as well as us, that the investment into players, right, yeah, hasn't necessarily gone the right way. So we're in that position where we have a compact squad, but if we lose 2 of our top talismans, we really are going to get messed up. You're right. That's not a squad, but it's a hope, right? If we can keep it together, that we may get something. Don't you think, as fans, right, yeah, that hope is something? That's what
I'm not here to give people hope. I'm giving my opinion. That's the point.
Alex, speculating.
I understand that hope is
speculating. We haven't even lost Son or Kane at any stage of any 2 or 3 years seasons. We've lost Son on separate occasions. We've lost Kane on we've not lost them both. So we're speculating that we will be crap if we don't have them both in the team.
True, you got a point there.
See, there's other players that can come in.
I mean, we've seen. Look. When I saw that game,
out together.
Look, this game that we just saw, we saw a team, we saw a squad playing for each other. I saw a team of players playing for each other.
With Harry Kane and Son.
No, but I'm talking about the other. I'm talking about the other 9.
Well, yeah, but again, that's why I said. That's why I say that I'm worried. If those players are not playing well, this is the point. Mm-hmm. This is why I got annoyed over the summer, because all we were talking about was Harry Kane, and that's what I said. I said, okay, you're focusing on Harry Kane. Where you think you're focusing on the squad? And that's the point. A top team do not focus on just one player. You see what I'm saying? If you focused on just 2 players, that's why I say it's Kane FC.
Or are you talking about the
coaches? And that's why I argue my case. And I'm sorry, I'm passionate about this, because the thing is, though, top teams don't do that. You see what I'm saying? And it worries me that the focus has been on Kane still. You see what I'm saying? And until we understand that, we ain't winning top trophies.
No. Alex is trying to say that having a zero tolerance, right? Yeah. Go on.
Go on, Ellie.
Who are these fans who are saying? I'm just saying, who are these fans who are saying we're just Harry Kane FC? We got to the Champions League final without him.
Without him.
We've got more or less the same squad.
Yeah, I understand.
The same squad, bar 3 players.
I'm going on.
Ones in.
I'm not going on what happened with Poch, because I want to leave that behind in that sense, because that is the past. I respect it.
Yeah, but
I loved it there.
More or less the same squad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You are right. You are spot on what you're saying. You're absolutely spot on what you're saying. But that was a different time.
Okay, guys, I'm going to move you on to just a little bit further, right? Yeah. And if I could possibly put this to Ali now, just for a second. Thank you, Alex. Ali, do you see, now that we've got rid of some players, and these new players coming in, do you see some form of rebuild occurring before your eyes? A real build?
Yeah, slowly.
Are we turning into Juventus?
The next window is going to be the big one. Right? Yeah. We've got 2 in. 2 excellent players. They'll come good. Takes time, or like Alex said, they'll come good. Don't worry. But the summer one is going to be the big one. That's the one where they have to spend big to get the big players. And Champions League qualification is vital for that, because Conte's name will not get us the players that we want to. Because when you're going in for players, they see Liverpool, Man City, Man United, Chelsea. Even if Man United, they don't get a Champions League spot and we do, they've got the pulling power as well. All right, so
the only problem with Man City is, do you have the playing power though? Like as a player, as a top professional, right? Yeah. No, I'm talking about if you're a top professional. Can you look at the Man City team and say, I can go in there and I can knock these guys out of the way and become top pecking order for being played? And the issue that players have now is that there's only limited amount of spots when it comes to Man City. So then you have to look to the next team. Well, sitting on the bench isn't going to help you. It's not going to help your career.
Undersell ourselves.
Oh no! That's what I'm saying. We have the advantage that if a good player comes to our team, we will play them. Whereas if they go to Man City, they might sit on the bench for a little while.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, if you're a top player, you don't want to sit on the bench.
No.
You want top pecking order, don't you?
Okay, so basically...
I think, to be honest with you, I think the summer will be important. I think we need to buy new players. Again, it all depends on will Levy give the money to spend, but I think we're going to have to wait and see. That's another debate altogether. Will Levy give Paratici the money or Conte the money? I think we're good enough to get top 4. I think we are at the moment. I think I think getting the players out that we did get out, Dele, Lo Celso, Tanguy, I think that's got a lot of negativity out of the team, out of the squad. Champions League, as Graham says here, I mean, I agree with Graham. Champions League is a must with these owners. There's nothing more or nothing less. We can't have another season of Conference League. I mean, the Conference League this year, we've been diabolical. I mean, we should not have been in the position in that game that caught up with COVID that we got knocked out of Europe. we should have been well qualified by then. So that last game wouldn't have mattered. I think Harry Kane, I think he was overworked he's been overworked for the last 3 or 4 seasons. I think also he was tired after the Euros, mentally and physically, with the move to Man City as well. And I also don't think what's been done in the dressing room helps. Because if you get negativity in the dressing room, that rubs off on you. And then you're negative anyway, that drains you. So you're already drained before you even go out on the pitch. I think the Nuno thing was a disaster. I honestly do. I think Nuno that was a joke. Us getting a new manager. And honestly, I just think now we should be able to get top 4. And I think we will get top 4. Carter, man, look, we've had some tech issues. That's why we couldn't keep you on, but there was tech issues my end. You haven't been blocked.
Every time he saw your name, he kept putting thing on.
Yeah, and it wouldn't let us bring you on. There's tech issue my end. So please stop putting in the comments I've been blocked when you haven't. If you really want me to block you, I will. So please stop saying that.
Dermot, I'd just like to quickly ask Alex a quick question.
Yeah, no
Alex,
problem. Yeah, go ahead.
You mentioned earlier, right, about this mentality. It's not just with the players, also with the fans as well, right? Do you see any signs of these new purchases and getting rid of some of the players? Do you see that switch in mentality? Is Conte putting a situation together where it's more likely to happen for the players and the team as a collective to have a better mentality? Do you see that happening, or do you think we're too early in the scale?
No, because I stick by my word. I say that Dele Alli wasn't a problem. I see the whole thing with Lo Celso and Ndombele. But I think it was the best thing for him to move on for himself. That was it. So, yeah, I think in terms of that, that's the thing. But he was a popular guy in the squad. Simple as that. I think the same thing with Aurier. I think there was lots of things made out about him. And, like I said, I don't like bringing up personal stuff, but he played when he the worst time in his life. You know what I mean? So, he had a lot of respect, even to Sissoko, for instance, but they had to move on. So, I think it's just a case of it does need a rebuild. Yes, I do agree with you. But, these players that have come in, it remains to be seen whether we are going to be good enough. I still stick by what I say. This team ain't getting 70 points or more. Simple as that.
Salary agent, right, is turning around and saying that he was asking if Dele wasn't the problem. I think you're trying to say that Dele wasn't the problem.
Yeah.
Dele may have had a problem, but he wasn't the problem in our squad, correct? Is that what you're saying, Alex?
If you want to look at players that were a problem at Tottenham in the past, if you look at Adebayor, that was a problem. You see what I'm saying? There's been other players in the past that have been much worse than Dele Alli. This guy's very, very young. Yes, he does stupid stuff, but he hasn't done anything to put the club in disrepute. You see what I'm saying? So for me, people might not like the character.
Red dreadlocks.
Well, that I don't want to get into that because that's.
I'm only ribbing, Alex. I'm only ribbing. Carry on.
No, I don't want to get into any personal stuff. But I'm just
sometimes it's always good to have a bit of humour to break up the level.
I know, but I want to keep away from that. I respect you.
Smiling, laughing, being happy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to get into keep it on the football. But my point is,
football is about happiness sometimes.
My point is that it remains to be seen if this is going to be a team, because the thing is though, even now on the stream, the Kane thing's come up and said, if we lose your 2 best players, what happens? Well,
we can say what we like. At the end of the day, is that the reality though?
Well, that's our
opinions, right?
You're not going to win trophies then for me. You know what I mean?
It's not really us that's doing anything though. We're not the ones choosing the players. We're not the one choosing the players. We're not the one training them. We don't know diddly about it, what's happening behind the scenes. So really, we're going to have to wait and see on that. But we do see little signs of hope here and there. And it's not a case of that you can have delusions of grandeur. It's just a case of, as a fan, you want to have dreams of glory. This is a natural part and parcel of being excited about a particular sport. It's the hope of trying to get somewhere, the underdog beating the overdog. I mean, if you look at the FA Cup run, right, you know what? Dermot's actually got a point. We stand a 1 in 4 chance of winning that tournament.
Can I just actually say, sorry to cut into you, Mr. K, about Dele Alli, and Alex is saying he wasn't the problem. The man never even bloody tried when he went onto the pitch. He went on the pitch and hit. We're losing against Chelsea. He's there doing TikTok. I want to be a bird. I want to be a cat. I want to be a cow next. You know, the man went off to France with Galini and brought back COVID into the squad and set off a whole chain of reactions that had games postponed. That man hasn't got a moral compass. If you put him in the middle of the desert, he wouldn't find his way out. That man, Dele Alli, Tanguy and Gio were three of the most unruly players in that club. And you sitting there, Alex, I respect half what you say. You know we'll back you up when I have to. They didn't even try in a shirt. So if you're not going to try playing football for our club when you put the shirt on, then what's the point in paying you? He was a young man getting a load of money. He just couldn't be bothered anymore. And if you can sit back as a Spurs fan, Alex, and accept that, then I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't. If I did that, and somebody put a comment here. Where is it now? I will find it. It's something like, if we all get sacked for not showing up, if we did that in our jobs.
Yeah.
Unless
your name's Boris.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's another show. But that's a show I would love to do. But that's another show.
Damn it! Should we move it on to the next game?
I want to come back to Dermot. I really do want to come back to Dermot on that, because he says a few things there that I don't really know anyway. To be honest with you, the whole thing with, I'm not going to get into the whole thing without what with I don't want to get into that, because for me, I don't want to get into that. That's something else that I can't really get into. The whole thing with Dele Alli at the moment, I've watched games back. Okay. I feel now I can't defend him on Moura. I can't defend a lot of players on Moura. Okay, I cannot defend Moura at all on that. Okay, because you saw me on the stream. You know my thoughts already. If you watch my channel, I put even time steps on it already. So I know what I said on there. I was ashamed about all of them. Okay, and I stick by what I said there. For me, I've watched games back, and I think for me, he lost his position, and I think it's interesting. Since Son and Kane had that partnership, he's looked lost. Also, I think he's been trying to figure out what he's doing. He tries his best, but when he makes runs and no one's passing to him, he gets fed up. You know what I mean? He's not a striker. I thought he could play that sort of role, but I think at the moment, the TikTok thing, I think that's just the way people are now these days. I don't do it. I don't do Twitter. Like I said, I do YouTube. I'll do bots. I'll be botsifiers on it. That's it.
There is a certain degree of negative publicity that gets from the media for some reason. I mean, the guy drives himself to work, right? Yeah, and they start complaining about his car.
Well, this is the thing. I think it's a bit unfair. I think it's really unfair. I think it's a bit unfair to drag it out with a young player like that. You see what I'm saying? Because that can mess up somebody's head. You know what I mean? This is what worries me about Tanganga. Because the thing is, though, people are now saying the same thing about Tanganga now, having to go at him now. And like I said, he's having a bad time. That's what young players do. What happened with Winks last season? There was some horrible stuff that people were saying about Winks. Horrible stuff. And you think that Winks is going to be getting on with himself, doing, getting on with that sort of abuse. You know what I mean?
But you know what it is? I'll tell you the truth, right? He deserved that abuse back then because he was playing horrible anyway.
Well, I don't think he deserved it because he's a young player.
I want to ask Ellie a question here. We need to bring Ellie in. Ellie hasn't said anything for a little while, but big up, Alex, for your comments on this channel. Your opinions are respected. We don't agree with them, but we respect them. Yeah. Not all of them, but some of them. Sorry, Alex, I'm joking. Right, Ellie. Right, you're a Spurs fan like me, Mr. K and Alex, right? What do you think of the Dele situation and the Tanguy and the Gio? Do you think the squad would be better without them there now? And do you think we were right to get rid of them? And also, did you see Dele on Saturday? He looked like a homeless person. Glenn Hoddle said that. He looked like a homeless person that was dragged off the street. Do you think we did a good job getting all these players out of the club?
Do you know what? I agree with Alex with Delhi, because I'm sad because on reflection, I've been saying, going along with the flows, saying what other people are saying about him and what he's doing on TikTok. He's turning up for his first training session in a Rolls Royce at Everton. The thing is, he's a young man. He's only 25. He's getting paid very, very well for what he does. And he's definitely talented. It's a shame that it's Conte, really. I think Conte probably just didn't see enough effort from him, because Conte's one of these managers, if he doesn't see effort, you're out. And I think he does value his talent, but he just didn't see the effort. So that's why he's gone. So he's only got himself to blame, because if he'd put in a little bit more effort and actually knuckled down,
I'll become what the coach wants me to be. Is that the mentality? Is like, I'll become what the coach wants me to be, because I'll be part of the team.
Delhi's never been a lazy player. Delhi's never been a lazy player. It's only in the last year that I've seen him drop his performances and not pull his weight. But not in every game. I would say in 75% of the games, he was very lazy. And then 25%, you want it the other way round. 75% putting in the effort at least. Because fans will forgive you. If you've got the talent, but you're not putting in the effort like Ndombele didn't, then they will drop you. But with Delhi, he had a special place in our heart from when he first came to the club. He just didn't give enough effort. And I just feel it's a shame, because we've lost a fantastic talent there.
I think we had the time with it. Listen, we had the time. We've got the memories. It's time to move on, get new players in, get some fresh blood in. And I think that's just the circumstances of what we need. We need a rebuild. We need the old players to move on. We need fresh players to come in. We need a better selection of players, as Conte said, that who minimize the mistakes that we've made in the past. This is out in the open now. People can't throw this away and hide it anymore. There's no speculation about it. It's blatantly a fact. You mismanaged the money, you got the wrong players, and then you handle them the wrong way in terms of their development, right? So Conte's correcting some of the stuff there. He's a bit frustrated. You can hear it in his voice sometimes. He laughs. Somebody asked him a question. His frustration is to laugh at the question, to say, what, isn't it obvious to you? But then he's a gentleman. He will explain it, right? So I can tell that Conte is kind of feeling a little bit here and there about certain situations that the club has been through, where he dug it up and said, "Oh my days, this is what you guys have been doing for the last 6 amount of years." Go on.
We've got a question. We've got a comment here from Wayne Bonner, which I did star a little while ago. Zach, bring that picture. Can you bring that picture back up of Levy? He says, "Why does Levy look like a turtle in that pic?" He does a little bit.
There's like 10,000 pictures that I had to go through, right? Yeah, before I found this one.
Yeah. Absolutely. Carter Man, again, we apologise. We had some technical issues tonight. So we will get you on the next time, we promise. But thank you very much. And keep commenting in. We will bring up your comments. We've got 20 people watching us, so thank you very much. Everyone, please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. And you know, we've got some great shows coming up. Cooper, I think, is going to pop in.
Have we got time? I don't know. Have we got time to kind of get one or two more people on, or is this?
Yeah, Cooper's going to pop on in a minute, because Cooper's already linked into this site.
I'll tell you what you could do. If you chuck the link into the stream right now, look, that young Izan Khan is on there as well.
I'm going to put it. Can you
imagine Izan and Alex? Can you imagine Izan and Alex chatting with each other?
I'm actually going to put it into the. I'm actually going to try into the Irish Hotspur, because I think there might be a problem me putting the link into here. So I'm going to try it into the Irish Hotspur. I'll do that. What I'll do is I'll ask if you can do it for us, Mr. K. I'll ask the next set of questions. Put it into the Irish Hotspur WhatsApp group.
Right. Okay. Got it.
Yeah. Right. We'll start with you, Ellie. Then we'll go to Alex. Then we do Tottenham's next fixtures. Southampton Wednesday, then Wolves, then Man City, Burnley. They've got Wolves at home. Hang on. Southampton at home, Wolves at home, Man City away, Burnley away, Leeds United away, and then we've got Middlesbrough in the FA Cup 5th round. Before that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 5 games before that. How many points, Ellie, do you think we'll get out of that? And do you think can we get through their next 5 games unbeaten? And then I come to you, Alex. So Ellie, you go to start.
Right. Right. How many points? I think we're going to get 10 at best. Yeah, because I can see us beating Southampton and Wolves. Possibly we'll lose to Man City.
Yeah.
Burnley will be. That's 9.
Yeah.
And the other game is, what did you say?
We've got Southampton at home, Wolves away, Man City away, Burnley away, and then Leeds United away before the FA Cup 5th round game.
Yeah, I think we'll draw with Leeds United.
Yeah.
I think we'll get a draw. So I think 10 points realistically.
Yeah.
At best.
Okay, great question, Ellie. Absolutely brilliant questions. Alex, same to you.
To be honest with you, I don't know. I've got no idea.
Yeah. I mean, do you want to go through the games game by game so we just get both your are you still there, Mr. K?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am indeed.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, just very quickly out then, and then we'll go through game by game if you don't mind. So go on, Alex. So you don't know then?
I'm not too sure because you know I go on what I see every game. I don't just go on I look at the fixtures, but I don't really take too much from them until I see the actual game for me, and take it from there really. So I think for me at the moment, I think it's just a case of just getting on with it and see if we can, the problem is at the moment we're playing during the weekend and then the weekday as well. So he needs time with the players to work on certain stuff, and you won't be able to do that next couple of games, unfortunately, this period, unfortunately. So I think for me, it's just really taking game by game for me. And as I said, I'm not got that much expectations at the moment because I don't think we should have any expectations, like I said. So yeah, and my thoughts on what I feel is our target this season. Because I disagree with people. I think at a minimum, especially with Conte, it will be Europa League football this season, the next season for me. Yeah. So, and that's it for me. So yeah, that's my answer.
We didn't get anything out of Alex.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Go on.
No, I was just going to say we didn't get any results and we didn't get any points from Alex, so he's abstaining, isn't he? Don't worry, Alex, we forgive you. You're not committing. You're not committing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mr. K, the next run of games, we've got 5 games league games before the FA Cup 5th round. We've got Burnley rearranged game.
So basically, if you look at these games very carefully, right, and the way that our team has currently been performing, that's the only thing you can do. I mean, literally, the Premier League is such that any team on any given day could do the dirty on another team. So I fully understand what Alex is saying. But if you just look at recent performances, the last 10 to 12 games and so forth, and you continue the trend, you'll come across Tottenham at home against Southampton. That's a win. Tottenham at home against Wolves. That's a win. Maybe by 1 goal, but still a win. Man City at home. Man City. We're going away to Man City. Forget getting from that, right? Burnley. We're going away to Burnley. Yes, we can definitely go away to Burnley and beat them. That's not a problem. We're going away to Leeds. Yes, we can beat them too. Right? What's left? Leeds. Right?
Leeds away. Then
we got the Middlesbrough game, which is in the middle of the week, right? Yeah, which is literally it's like 3 days straight after the Leeds game, right? We can beat Middlesbrough away, right? We're at home to Everton. We can beat Everton. We're going away to Man United. Let's just forget that and say nothing, We're at home to West Ham. Now, West Ham sometimes can do dirty things to us, but if by then we're riding high, we can win that game. So if you add that up, right, that is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
That's 18
Right.
points.
So we've got enough, right, to get into top 4 and comfortably stay there. Because there's only 2 teams, the Man City and Man United. So it's only the big teams I'd say we seem to be uncomfortable with. But you never know. We might be able to get a draw or win at them, and we might get the dirty pulled against one of the other teams. But on the whole of it, I reckon we could beat all those teams except for Man United and City. It's that simple. Because they're not.
Do you know what? Do you know what, Mr. K? I probably would agree with you on that. I actually would. I think we can. I think we will get something at the Man City game, though. I think we'll get a point from there. I'm actually quite confident. I think we will. Because we seem to be Man City's bogey team. Away at Old Trafford, Man United not playing well. I mean, they're in disarray. As a club, they're in complete disarray. So I think we can pick up a point at each of them difficult games. But, I mean, our running. We've got Norwich.
Even if we get nothing out of those games, right, the big games, forget the 1 point. Say we get nothing. We get beaten, I don't know, 2-1, 3-1 or 4-1 or something, right, It doesn't matter as long as we beat all those other teams that we're supposed to beat. If we don't beat them, we don't deserve to be at that top level of the table. Simple as that.
Yeah.
So I'm with Alex on that one. It's are we good enough as a team? Because a team is what's required in order for it to be in top 4. That's generally the case.
But that Man United game, if they're matching us right up until that game, we'll need to beat them.
No, we don't. We'll be ahead of them.
No, I'm just saying, if they're matching us on points, it's more important that we beat them or get a draw at least. Because if they're matching us, they're going to be our rivals to get that top 4
you're right.
spot.
You know that. That game could be a crunch between us too. Because we lose against Man City, we're down to 3 points. So basically, if they win one, they'll be like going neck and neck with us. A draw will do us, but a win will help them.
Yes. But it's crucial that we beat them or get a draw at least. Yeah. If they're matching us on points.
Yeah. I don't know if I've actually mentioned it. Sorry there, Mr. K, just a few minutes. Senegal have actually won the African Nations Cup. The one a little while ago, actually. The one on penalties.
Senegal.
Yeah.
They deserve it as well.
Yeah. And apparently there was a comment in here about Mo Salah. Here we go. Shamu saying Salah complaining and moaning to the ref constantly in the AFCON final. Yeah. So the ref handed him the cards and the whistle. Legend. Oh, that's brilliant. That is absolute. Can you imagine a Premier League ref doing that to a Premier League player?
Prosper.
No.
I'm not saying Salah is a cheat, but he shouldn't have said anything to his goalie. I think that's bad form.
Yeah.
Anyway, they lost in the end anyway, and Senegal deserved it.
Yeah, I sort of agree with Selling Agent here. I'll start with you, Mr. K, then I'll go to you, Alex, then I'll go to you. And we've got your friend here, Dave, Alex. You've got your Dave. I'll send you Dave, I'll send you the link to your WhatsApp. If you want to come on, you're more than welcome. So I'll do that now. Alex, anything you want to say to the number one Irish Spurs fan in the whole wide world?
Where you hiding, mate? Where you hiding? Mate, I'm still here.
Right, okay.
Honestly, you're in time, Bob. Oh gosh.
Honestly, it's got to that time where I've got to make a move very soon, right? Yeah, we've been an hour and a half into this. I'd like to just do one last thing and then make my way out of here because I'm hoping that other people will come in after me. Before I leave, there's just one last question which I'd like to ask these two lovely panelists that we have here today. But I'll start with the lady first, of course, Ellie. The run which I've just described there, and it looks to all intents and purposes that we couldn't have a more favourable run over the next 6 to 8 games than what we currently have, right? Ellie, from what you've seen the last game and what you've seen in the transfer window and the noise that Conte is making, do you feel that we have the potential to grow a new squad, this rebuild that's currently going on? Do you have hope in your heart for that?
Yeah, of course. I'm just hoping that they do back Conte in the summer, because I want to see him as our manager for next season and see what progress we're going to make next season on top of what we've done this season. Because no doubtedly we're a better team this year. I believe we are.
You mean now or the beginning of this year?
I just think we're a better team all round in terms of the way we grind out results, and we've had some fabulous wins. That one against Leicester, that was the highlight of our season. I loved it.
I think it was coming of age game, wasn't it?
In the end.
We were letting ourselves down continuously before that.
Result.
Yeah. Listen, I want to move that question on to Alex. I said it was a coming of age sort of game. We were letting ourselves down before that game, and we pulled our socks back up at the end of that game. Alex, I just want to put the same question to you. Is there any hope in your heart, or do you think that basically we just don't have we have to wait till summertime, wait for a proper rebuild to occur before we even get to a situation where we consider ourselves to be a team?
As I said before, this team is not a team. As I said, I don't. I was buzzing after Leicester.
When you say it's not a team, what is it then?
Well, we work hard, but as an attacking team, there are flaws. Like I said before, there's certain times.
Can you point to one or two of the flaws that we can correct? Maybe
I haven't watched. Let me finish what I'm saying. My point is that there's flaws in this team where we're not attacking. There's players that are not contributing. They're so reliant on 1-2 players to score. And like I said before, I go back to if one player or two players are not playing, we start worrying. I don't like that. I don't think that's a good mentality to have. Well, I don't like that word, but that's where we're going. That's the way we're going. But that's what I don't like. And for me, if you want to win the Premier League, and that's where Conte wants to bring it, and that's where Kane wants to bring it, because he will leave otherwise if he doesn't get what he wants in terms of that, and Conte will do the same thing as well. Right. We got to change that mentality as far as I'm concerned. So, will
the summer be enough, or do we need another one after that?
Well, he said it already. This is not going to be 2 summers thing. It's quite a lot of things to do at the moment.
Conte's saying this.
Well, Conte's saying it already. He said it in his interview, his post-match conference as well. So, and like I say, there's certain games.
You ask him, he goes, "It's a long project. This is a very long project. He always saying, take a long time."
It's going to take a long time because of the mistakes. I do agree with him in terms of the players that are brought in terms of Lo Celso and Ndombele. We didn't look at whether the right sort of characters in the squad as well, and that's where teams like Leicester and West Ham have done their homework better, and that's where that we've been behind those sort of things at the moment. At the moment, you look at Leicester at the moment. I don't want to go into them too much, but they're going on a bit of a rebuild. I heard what Brendan Rodgers said. It's quite telling, you know what I mean? But my point is, at the moment, we need to get to that point now, because whether you have, it's not about money, it's not about world-class players. It's about a team mentality and people understanding that mentality at the moment, and people identifying with the team as well. Because at the moment, Alex goal spot on. We identify with Conte. That's wrong. That's wrong.
Well, we're going to start from somewhere, don't you think?
We should be identifying with the manager. We should be identifying with the team.
But we're slowly starting to do that when we start to see them proving each other.
Well, at the moment, I don't think that's what's happening at the moment for me. And I think
you don't see the signs for that. Then you don't see the signs for that.
No, because it's going to take time.
Yeah, I'd like to move the question on to Izan, if possible, to the same sort of thing. Izan, listen, thank you very much for coming to the stream. Right, if somebody could put the microphone on mute, because I'm getting so much feedback. Would everyone just put their microphone on mute? Ellie, Alex, Dermot. Thank you very much. Oh my days, that washing machine's gone. Izan, absolute pleasure. Thank you very much for coming onto the stream. Oh my days. Izan, I just want to quickly go through these couple of facts, right? Which is basically the list of the teams that we're about to go and play. Southampton at home. Wolves at home, right? We're going to go away to Man City. Forget them. Burnley, we're going away to them. Leeds, we're going away to them. We're going away to Middlesbrough. We're going to play Everton at home, right? Forget Man United we're going to go to, right? But we're going to play at home to West Ham. All the teams which I've mentioned so far, and a lot of them at home. Does that not sound like a really favourable run of games? Is that?
Yeah, it does. Other than Man City, we're probably favorites for each of those games,
including Man United on their grounds.
Yeah, Man United are imploding. They lost to Middlesbrough. Come on, I mean,
we're playing Middlesbrough, right?
Yeah, we are. We're
going to show Man United how it's done, right? So, yeah, so your heart. I mean, you know, this game that happened just recently, this Brighton game. You know, to me, I mean, look, I'm just a regular Joe person, right? Yeah, but I really enjoyed that game, and it's been a long time since I enjoyed a game from like the beginning, because some of the Leicester game that was enjoyable in the last 4 minutes, right? But this game was enjoyable from the beginning. Ezan, what was your assessment of this game, first of all, before we move on to what's coming up ahead of us in the next game in Southampton?
Yeah, look, it was a really good performance, good team performance. Some of the one-touch passing was really nice to see, and we got to show off some of our new signings. And Bentancur looks really good. I mean, I really rated that guy, especially for the price we got him, and I think he'll take up Winks' spot easily. He'll take Winks' spot, and you know, Kane is back to scoring bangers. You know, Son is back to dribbling in past entire teams. Bergwijn's still missing sitters. So I think, you know, things are back to normal now at Spurs.
The Southampton game coming up, I mean, with what we've just currently gone through, and that's a home game as well. It's coming straight away after this one. The players are going to feel a bit of high. They're going to feel a bit of togetherness. This is the time to stamp our authority on the table, get the 3 points, go above Man United, get that fourth spot, and say, we got the points, you guys make your own points. You know, once you got the points, it's better, right?
Yeah. Points in the bag are better than games in hand.
So this game that we've got with Southampton, how crucial do you think it is in order for us to win this? In order for us to get a successful run going?
Look, if we get a draw, it's not the end of the world, but it'll be really deflating at home. And Southampton do give big teams a tough time. They just got a draw against Man City. It wouldn't be the end of the world, but the next game we have is against Wolves, and I'd say that they're much tougher competition. So definitely. I think it is quite important to get the win against Southampton, considering that we should have won the last time we played them.
Yeah. I mean, we got this. I mean, look, right now, both of those games are going to be at home. Okay, so that's kind of interesting. As far as the cup run is concerned, you know, Middlesbrough couldn't have asked for anything better.
Peterborough, I guess, would have been easier, but yeah, Middlesbrough. You know,
Middlesbrough, one of those teams that you're gonna have to take a little bit seriously. Peterborough, you might decide to slip a little bit mentally wise. You know what our team's like, right?
Yeah. So, well, no, we got the useless players out of the squad, the Dele, Celso, and Ndombele. We got, like, you know, those guys that just care about themselves and they don't care to put in the effort. They think they're too good to play in like the Conference League against non-league teams in the FA Cup.
I think that type of attitude, like other professionals that are working alongside you, they'll pick it up without necessarily having to talk to you about it. They'll feel it. And do you think that's been affecting the players in terms of their belief that whether the selections have been fair or not fair? It's like a bit more belief that things are fair now.
Yeah, I think it's more like, you know, if this guy's not trying, right? Why the hell should I put in the effort? You know, because like I just want to give a quick example. So like in the Conference League games, most of the time Brian Hill would start, right? And then Brian Hill would be playing on that left wing, and he would be the only player pressing high. Like, I felt really bad for Hill because he was the only player pressing high, trying to win the ball back when we lose it. And then the likes of Dele and like Ndombele are just, you know, just jogging around doing basically nothing. So I think now that those guys are gone, there's going to be more incentive to perform in each and every game. There's more competition for the spots as well in the first team.
And I think Conte's actually got an opportunity to rotate players as well, which is kind of really handy. I mean, Alex was saying that you can't rely upon the firing power of just Kane and Son in order to get you where you need to get to. I agree that the whole of the midfield and other parts of the team, whether they're wing backs or whether they're defenders, they need to start contributing, especially like things in set plays. I think we waste an awful lot of our set plays. Ellie, you know what it is, guys? I've really been here a long time. I really need to start making a move out of here. So, thank you very much, Ellie. Thank you very much, Izan, for that. I'm sorry I couldn't stay a little bit longer, but I've got an early start tomorrow morning.
Can I just say thank you very much for doing the stream with me tonight. I will be continuing because Dave Harris is about to pop on. I think Coover is about to pop in as well. Alex, get your ass back in here, and because Dave wants to have a debate with you. So don't run away. Get your ass back in and do a proper debate. Be a man, right? Mr. K, you've been a legend. We will be doing this again, me and Mr. K. We're thinking of an idea, aren't we?
Big up Mr. K.
Yeah, big up Mr. K. It's been brilliant. I'm actually going to go back to my rightful spot now. I had to put him there because Mr. K deserves to be on that side. So there you go. Yeah. Mr. K, you go and get your sleep. Go and enjoy yourself, sir. And thank you very much. We'll see you very soon. Where can people find you most of all? Just plug your channel.
So I'll tell you the truth. You can find me a lot of the times hanging around with these guys. Whether it's the coffee company, with Ben Kaufman, or whether it's with Kuva, or whether it's Dermot. It's like I'm spending a lot more time here. Sometimes I'll be hanging around with Spurswasion, but I've got my own show on Tuesday nights. Talk to Kay on Will Stewart's THST Rants channel. Been doing that for some time. It's the same spot that I used to do Three Wise Men, Tuesday nights, 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock in the morning, 2-hour slot. So yeah, it's good to settle into my Tuesday slot. All this stuff which I'm doing on the side is just really like filling a bit of spare time, telling the truth. Might as well make use of it while I can. Also, the game on Wednesday. I'll be on the game on Wednesday. I'll be there early. A little bit of protesting, levy out. I won't bother doing that right now because I think it's been such a lovely day. Let's not even spoil it. Izan, it's been a pleasure. Ellie, thank you very much. Honestly, your kind words have been great. Alex, I'm sorry that you feel that I keep interrupting you. Many apologies. It's just that sometimes the answers are just so slow that I just got to move it on. Many apologies if it comes across rude to you. Dermot, it's an absolute pleasure. Viewing audience, hit a like on this. Subscribe if you haven't. And if you can share it to other people via Twitter and so forth, please do so. Every little bit helps. Come on, you Spurs. And levy out.
As one genius legend comes out, another one comes back in. Alex is back. We're waiting for Dave to pop in. Alex, you've been very critical of Tottenham over the years. You've been very critical of like Harry Kane, but you've always bigged up Dele and Winks. Why have you bigged up them players, but what do you see different, say, in Dele to Holberg? Do you know what you mean? You haven't said Holberg hasn't, but Dele has. What's the difference between them two players in your eyes?
This is difficult because the thing is, though, if you look at it from afar, you think that Højbjerg he's been very, very good. Okay. However, my point is, unfortunately, and I have to bring it back to this point. And it's so annoying because it's unfair, but we look back at the foreign player rule, okay? He needs to be at a very, very good level because if you get another foreign player in, they're replacing those foreign players, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay. He does a job. Okay. He does some good stuff in terms of on the ball. He does pass it very well, but he doesn't do it enough for me. Okay, I base my opinion on because when he has to do what he's doing, like for a Mourinho team, he looks good. He looks great. but it needs a little bit more extra for me. In midfield. For me, a midfielder now role has grown. It's not just about being defensive and doing your job and passing it on to the attacking players. You've got to do more, because you always have attacking another player that does more, like Skip does, for instance, that does more for me. I've touched on the Kane situation. Okay. I said the reason why I say I'm a bit harsh on Kane is because I think he's outgrown the team. Also, which is not his fault. It's not his fault. It's because he's a skilled, fantastic player. He's worked on his game. He's got a fantastic brain as a football man. One thing I will say about Dele, he hasn't got that. I think that's the intelligence. He hasn't got that. But for me at the moment, he's at a stage at his career where he wants the Premier League. It's clear he wants the Premier League. That's why Man City were after him, 100%, because he knows he wants the Premier League. When he sees players like, I hope Ellie's coming back. I really hope Ellie's coming back, because I love that lady and I want that to come back.
Well, you're afraid of me, Alex? I'm here. You've been calling me out.
I know, David. I know you're there. I know you're there. It's good that you come back from hiding anyway. But I'll come back to you in a bit. But my point is, big up to Kirsty, by the way. Big up to Kirst, by the way. We have to big up to Kirst. So yeah, big up to you. I'm glad to see you. So what I'm saying is that I think I just think at the moment, unfortunately, he needs the Premier League, and at the moment I can't see Tottenham winning the Premier League. So this is my problem at the moment. I think we're going to have a stage where he ain't signing that contract until we got to a stage of doing that. Conte's not going to sign a contract until we get to the stage of doing that. So I think we do have to move him on, and I think we have to move on with the whole thing, because I think we're relying on him too much, and this question of him coming not being there, it becomes another puzzle again, where he's not playing. What we're going to do, and I don't think that we should have that anymore. We should be trying to concentrate on the squad and trying to enhance that, and trying to not think about Kane not playing. We should be thinking about, can we think of other combinations and chemistry as well? Because that for me is important. Us moving forward, I think, and that's what I'm missing at the moment for me. So that's my reasoning. Supporting Dele and Winks, I just think that the people have been harsh, and unfortunately, because they are homegrown players, you've got to give them more of a chance anyway, because they, whether you like it or not, it's hard to get homegrown players in. You know what I mean? Because unfortunately, I don't rate Harvey Wright at the moment. I think he needs a loan. I don't rate Scarlett at the moment. He needs a loan. I think they need a loan. They need men's football. And at the moment, I don't think they're going to have that opportunity at Tottenham at the moment. I think they're stifled at the moment at Tottenham. So that's what my reasoning at the moment for them is. But I accept Dele's gone now. So that's it. That's my answer.
You're on mute, Dermot. Dermot, you're on mute.
Yeah. Dermot, you're on mute. They can't hear you.
Right. Me and Azan are just going to sit back. We're going to now swing it over to you, Dave. Take it away.
Yeah, look, I just said I'd come in, be cool, calm, and composed, and let Alex talk himself into something he can't get out of, and I've already done it. Honestly, I thought it'd be a harder challenge since he's been calling me out every opportunity he's got. But now that he's finished talking waffle, let's hear what the Don has to say. So look, when it comes to Big H, right? This is a guy, that when he wasn't performing at the start of the season, Alex was saying that he was past it. Now that he's back scoring, now he's saying we shouldn't be having him, we shouldn't be relying on him. I mean, it's insane to think that Chelsea rely on their best players, Liverpool rely on their best players, Man City rely on their best players, Bayern Munich rely on their best players as well. I mean, it's insane to think that you're going to rely on a world-class player. I mean, I actually can't believe Alex can't get that into his mind, that this guy is world-class. We've seen how we struggle for goals without him. Look, since he's come back, look at the amount of goals we're scoring, 2-3 a game. I mean, absolutely banging them in. Big H scored last night, and I bet you Alex was absolutely crying in the stands, tears in his eyes. He's like, no, all the times I've called out Dave and Harry Kane's back scoring, and now I have to sit here and accept it. But may I add, You know, he talks about Harry Kane all the time, yappa about Big H, right? But this is a guy that wanted Dele Alli to be put up front. No, Dele Alli needs to go up front. Dele Alli needs to be played here. Dele Alli needs to be played left back. I know, look, let's toss Dele Alli the goalkeeper gloves. Let's give him a chance. You know, the thing I noticed about Alex, right, is that he'll criticize Harry Kane. He'll criticize Højbjerg. In fact, he criticized everyone that plays for the badge. Yeah, and I mean the word plays, puts in a consistent 7, if not 8 out of 10 every week. But yet, you know, he sits there, he talks about Harry Winks. He was crying because Dele Alli left. You know, I mean, this, that, and the other. I'm like the point is, he backs players that haven't given anything to this badge for a considerable long period of time, 3 years in some cases, but then dismisses a guy that's had, 3-4 months off form out of his whole career at Tottenham Hotspur. I mean, it's just insane. Just because he speaks like that, I win this debate alone. Let's get on to Højbjerg. Now, Højbjerg's a man. He actually tackles, right? Now, I didn't hear Alex say, well, Højbjerg didn't give away any goals yesterday, but I know who did. Harry Winks. And hear me back. You look at that goal. Yes, Basuma came drifting in from the right-hand side, but go back and look at the goal. Harry Winks is backing off with his hands behind his back. As a centre midfielder, in charge of that side of the pitch, as soon as they're cutting across your box, it's up to you. It's your position to go and engage in that player. He didn't have to do it. And therefore, that's how Basuma ended up getting his goal. You know, Højbjerg, he gets stuck in. But all Alex wants to talk about is he's passing. Højbjerg was brought in to be a ball winner, but yet doesn't want to talk about Harry Winks passing, which is the sole reason why he's at this club, supposedly. You know, the guy passes sideways, he passes backwards. Now, hear me out. Yes, he's improved this season, but we're actually praising him for actually doing his job. He's not doing it exceptionally well whatsoever. We're praising him for doing his job. Look, Alex is just upset because, you know, Brighton, they didn't bring down the sticker up for him on his day out. He wanted the souvenir from Brighton and it didn't happen. But look, Alex has already talked himself into something he can't get out of now. You're on
mute, Dermot.
Azan, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, look, I have some stats on Højbjerg, which will actually back up David. So if we look at his pass, he attempts 70.37 passes per 90, which is in the top 90th percentile. He has an 89% pass completion rate, which is in the 89th percentile. He has 5.88 progressive passes per 90, which is in the top 87th percentile. And his expected assists is 0.08 per 90, which is in the 58th percentile. So that's above average. Even his shot creating actions is 1.85 per 90, 49th percentile. So average. And but his progressive passes and progressive carries are above average for a defensive midfielder whose role is to win the ball. So I don't get how you can say that Højbjerg isn't good going forward when his stats literally say he's well above average, especially in the progressive passing range, top 87th percentile.
Yeah, I know it's Sam, but Alex likes to ignore all the facts. So, I mean, you could put the facts in front of Alex. Like, you could stand there and say, Alex, the sky is blue. And he will argue saying it's red. He will. It's just the way Alex is. But,
he's not a top 4 player.
If Højbjerg had Winks on his back, Alex would be sitting there with big, do you know the Tums that they use in the American sports, the big Tums and all? That would be Alex if Winks was performing with them stats. He'd be sitting there calling them world class, but because he has Højbjerg on the back of his jersey, that's why he's critical of him. I mean, you know, Højbjerg, he does more than what Dele Alli has done in the last 3 years. And there's, but yet Alex was crying about Dele Alli going. I just don't get it. Nonsense.
And I want to add something for Alex. We'll let Alex back in. Harry Kane, and I said earlier, Harry Kane scored his 300th goal last night. 21 goals this season. Now, this was a man everyone, including you, Alex, right, wanted sold. Now, Dave and a few of us were the only ones that backed Højbjerg and Kane up all season. You cannot say that man has scored 21 goals already, and this is February, this season. 5 for his country, the rest for Tottenham. That man's coming back into form. He's going to end up top goal scorer in the Premier League or near enough up there by the end of the season. We will win the FA Cup. We'll get 4th place. Tottenham are back, and you'd be crying into your cornflakes at the end of the season because Tottenham are going to win every damn thing next season. We're back, baby. Woo!
Just quickly, just before we let Alex in, I just want to say, Dermot, and it's Sam. I won't speak to Alex because he's just going to ignore it anyway, even though it's facts. But imagine paying a striker, right? Imagine paying a striker a goal bonus and wages to do his job, which is score goals, and then complain about having to rely on him to do his job. Imagine that one. It's insane. You can speak now, Alex.
It is, Dave.
I'm telling you, you can speak. You can speak now.
Yeah, go on, Alex.
Oh gosh,
right. You've heard our sayings. We leave it to you now.
Oh, the fact is, I mean, honestly, Izam, you've got to do better than that, mate. Give me stupid statistics like that, bro, and thinking that's going to make me change my mind. It was a sudden, bro. Honestly, schoolboy there, bro. Schoolboy, bro. Honestly, I cannot believe what I heard. Honestly.
Look,
does
Alex,
Højbjerg get into a top 14, bro? Does Højbjerg get into the top 14, bro? Does Højbjerg get into a top 14, bro?
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. Yes. 100% does not get into a top 14, bro. All day long.
Finishing 4th.
All day long. And that's all I need to say to you. All day long. That's all I need to say to you. Is he better than Dembele in his pomp? No, he's not. Is he better than any other in his pomp? No, he's not. He batters him every single time, bro. Every single time. So don't even talk to me about that, bro. You know what I mean? So don't even go there with me, bruv. Yeah, I watched it. Does he get past the striker? No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. So don't tell me this guy is 100% captain material. He flopped against Arsenal, bruv. He flopped against Chelsea, bruv. Kante banters it every single time, bruv. So don't go there with me, bruv. Every single time. So don't go there with me, bruv. Every single time. You're going to come back to me about a statistic now, bruv, that you got from FIFA again. Oh, Football Manager again, bruv. What's that going to say to me, bruv? Nothing, bruv. Sorry. I've badged you already, bruv, with your statistics, bruv.
Say one thing, right? And I think Azan's going to like me saying this, right? You criticise Højbjerg against Arsenal, against Chelsea, right? What the fuck was Dele Alli doing? Please tell me. What was he doing? Sitting in the middle of the centre circle playing with his crayons, thinking, can I play dot to dot right? Or was he sitting there, Arsenal player go and buy him? Or hang on, let me go on to TikTok now. Let me take a selfie of myself on the pitch. I mean, Winks, please tell me in what universe Winks is a good player?
Just before you do, let me expose Harry Winks first. Because if
I see your point about Winks.
Hang on, Alex. Right? You speak about. No, 1 second.
You got to give him his 5 minutes, though, Bob. We have to give him his 5 minutes now. Okay, here we go.
No, yeah. Because I speak facts. I have mic drop moments about twice a week. But look, Alex. What I will say to you is right. You talk about Højbjerg against Chelsea. Do you want to just ignore that part where Højbjerg was battling for the ball, it broke, and Winks panicked and just ballooned it straight back to Chelsea rather than trying to play? Even though his job is to be that guy that people can trust with the football. Or do we not want to talk about that? No.
Listen. I defend Winks, but watching this is where I need to do my stream because.
Just tell me I'm right, Alex.
Oh gosh. No, I'm not telling you right because I think Winks has done a lot of hard work. I've got to say this. I have to say this, yeah. But what I'm trying to say is that I think no. I haven't finished it, David. I haven't finished it, David.
You're right, man. I know I make you nervous, but come on, man.
No, you don't make me nervous, bruv. I can banter you every single time, bro. You know what I mean? It's school time for David. You know what I mean? School time for David. What I'm saying is to you, I think Winks, he does his best, but I don't think he does enough for me. And I think it's shown against for Conte when Conte's been in charge. I think I think for me, he doesn't do enough attacking wise. He passes it when he's passing it to Son and Kane. He didn't do it to Ali for me. He was just completely ignoring him in the Southampton game. I watched it and I watched it back again. And for me, Chelsea, he doesn't do enough for me again. You know what I mean? I can give forgiveness to Skip. He tries to go forward a lot of the time. I'll say a little bit with Højbjerg as well.
Yeah, Højbjerg, yeah, he does get forward.
Højbjerg does a little bit, but I think he needs to do it more. I think he's a more box-to-box midfielder. Because I think he needs a lot of good players around him, Højbjerg. But Winks, for me, if he wants to keep his position at Tottenham, he does need to do more with the ball and go forward with the ball. And I think that's not his fault, because I think his development has been stifled because of the managers have been turned around a lot of the time. He's been now defensive. Now he's been told to be a little bit more progressive a little bit now. So I think that's progressively that's not his fault, but also he needs to have more belief in himself. And he's lost belief. Conte's given that belief back. Hopefully he can develop further, because for me, unfortunately, his positions is
belief. The one player who had the right mentality last year, and you're telling me that this man doesn't have the right mentality. When he goes to play against the national team, he's got the belief. Listen, when he's playing with the national team, he's got the belief. When he plays for us, he doesn't.
Everyone,
not true.
Hang on, Alex,
not true. You're talking. That's not true. That's not true. You can't be spitting that stuff which is false, bruv.
Let me finish, Mr. K.
Mr. K, let Alex finish. Azan has been waiting very patiently to get a word in, so Azan will go next, and then Dave and Mr. K then can jump in and have their say, because we're getting taught now. We're watching.
What I'm trying to say,
hang on, Alex. We are watching history in the making. Alex has been taken to school by Dave Harris. I mean, this is just.
No, I'm not, Bob.
So I'm going to sit back and just let it flow.
I'm not getting schooled by this guy any day of the week. I'll tell you that for a fact. But I'm saying to you now that, yeah, he does need to do more, because I've seen games back, and especially against Chelsea, he was disappointing. To his credit, we were very defensive for me, and that was Conte's fault. I've got to say that. But at the same time, he needs to use his initiative, and he doesn't use his initiative enough for me. And that's the same with Højbjerg as well. I think Skip's got it, but I think he needs a little bit more coaching in him as well, for me. But those two midfielders need to do more. And that's why I say we don't score more goals in midfield. And I'm not also talking about the fullbacks as well. Emerson scoring a fluke don't mean nothing to me. Reguilon needs to be better. I'm sorry. Sessegnon looks better than him all day long. People having a go at him. I'm like, this guy is aggressive, bro. This guy's aggressive, bro. I like this aggressiveness from bro. And even Doherty, but then Doherty even more he disappoints. He has these moments as well. So again, it might be quality as well. So yeah, that's my point.
Just quickly, I know you're talking from more creativity from Højbjerg in midfield. I mean, he's got 3 goals and 3 assists this season. I suppose we can just pretend we're. No, honestly, I suppose we could just pretend we're Ray Charles and be blind there.
Okay, great, mate. That's so fantastic, bro. Honestly, he's blowing the land away, bro. 3 goals. Whoopee, bro. Whoopee. Honestly, I've never heard such absolute rubbish in my life, bruv. Honestly, it's like the waffle you can give me, bruv, at the moment. Honestly,
screaming over me, it doesn't make you right. Hear me out.
Hang on, Alex. Sorry, Dave.
Go on. Yeah, he's right.
Alex, let Dave have his say, and then after that, Azan can have his say. Let Dave speak. Be polite to the panel, please.
I'm polite to him.
No, Alex is talking. He's been saying about goals from midfield, and I mean, everyone that's in the Irish Hotspur group chat. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but was Alex not talking about bringing that Dele Alli into midfield because we want goals and assists from midfield? I mean, Højbjerg has more than him this season. So, I mean, again, does Alex really believe what he's saying? I don't think he does. I think he just says it without actually thinking. You know, because what he criticizes Højbjerg for, he then praises Dele Alli for. And it's just like with Alex, the thing is, you know, they have a good game. He shifts the goalposts. He criticizes something else. I mean, I've seen this time and time again. You see it with Harry Kane. Like I said, at the start of the season, he was done. All of a sudden now we rely on him, even though we pay him to score goals. It's just a reoccurring team. I mean, this was a guy that sat here And he'll never tell me I'm wrong. But the fact that he now admits Winks isn't at the level we need, I mean, kind of just gives me, I know I was right about him all along. But, you know, Alex, you've been telling me I've been wrong about this guy all along. And I hate to say it to you, but Bentancur will start over him against Southampton. Bentancur is taking.
I agree with you.
I think my point is that you probably need to listen to me more when it comes to players. No, because you sat there for years, ever since I've known you, defending Dele Alli. He's never come out of his shell. You failed to realize the hunger was gone. You sat here, you backed Harry Winks. I mean, he's just never materialized into the players that you want him. And I'll be honest, I admire your passion for Spurs players. I admire it. I wish I could be like that with the crap players, but I can't. I cannot accept, you know, what Dele Alli done, sitting here for 3 years, earning a pay packet and not doing anything for the club. I can't accept Harry Winks showing up for Liverpool and Real Madrid over the course of his career. I can't accept it. It's not good enough. I mean, I listened to you all week talk about how good Brighton was, sucking off Harry Potter, the manager. We absolutely spanked them yesterday. Absolutely spanked them.
You're lucky, Bob.
No, we spanked them 3-1. They couldn't get a grip on the game. We destroyed them. You know, at the end of the day, Alex, I admire your passion for some of these players, but you just need to learn to let go. I mean, I get it. We all want to get back to Pochettino and the squad he had then.
I didn't say that, though, bro.
No, because the reason why I say that is because you always talk about Pochettino. You always talk about.
I didn't say that, though, Bob.
No, correct me if I'm wrong, but did he not refer to Dembele and Wanyama already? So that kind of.
Yeah, I did, but that wasn't nothing to do with Pochettino, though.
The teacher speaking, Alex. Student sits there and listens.
Teacher speaking. Oh, yeah, okay. Right, no.
Play your role. But look, my point is that just, I get it. You want to get back to Pochettino's team. I get it. But we have to evolve from some of the players that were underneath him that weren't good enough. We have to keep rotating, bring in better players. We have to let go of some of them old guard. Bring back up views for Spurs there a second ago. Dermot, go up one.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with that, Dave. I mean, we played well last night. I actually watched the Tottenham game and thought, "Feck, this is good. This is something we haven't seen before." Though Brighton probably didn't turn up, we outplayed them. We were first of all. Kane looked hungry. The squad looked hungry. We got rid of the players that were destruction in that squad. The squad all wanted to fight for each other. And that's what it was about last night. And Alex, as much as you defend, and the same as Dave, I admire your passion for Dele Alli. But Dele Alli is finished. The so is finished. Holberg is going to be a future captain of our team.
No, he's not.
I don't mind what anyone says. He's a future. He reminds me so much of Graham Roberts.
Leader,
and I remember
Alex. I'm a future captain.
I remember Graham Roberts playing. And Graham Roberts reminds me of Holberg. Now, I want to give 5 minutes, please, to Azan. He's been very patiently. Go on, Azan. Go on. Give you your what you got to say, and then Mr. K, you can come in. But Azan, the floor is yours for 5 minutes. Alex, do not interrupt him. Let him have his say, and then you can have your say afterwards. Azan, it's over to you, sir.
Look, I mean, Alex says that Højbjerg can't get into a top 4 team. So what's he going to say when we finish 4th this season? I mean, this guy, just from the numbers, the stats, this guy does so much for us. I don't know why you're so blind to see. Is it that every manager who's come in always starts Højbjerg? Mourinho, Nuno, even Ryan Mason, and Conte as well. Are all these managers idiots? Are all of them idiots who have no clue about football, who always start Højbjerg over all of the other midfielders? Or is it just you that's wrong? Is everyone in the fan base who says Højbjerg is our best midfielder, are we all wrong? Are all the managers and coaches wrong? Or is it just you who rates Winks more than Højbjerg? And Dele as well. Højbjerg has more goals than Dele Alli this season. Dele has 1 goal, and that too was from a freaking penalty. So I don't get what you're saying. He's not good enough going forward. He's a defensive mid who's scoring and assisting more than our attacking midfielders. I really don't get it. And look, you say, oh, I bring up stats, right? The reason I bring up stats is because you can't argue with them, Alex. That's why all you said to me, oh, you're just a schoolboy. Instead of personally attacking me, can you actually attack the argument that I present? The numbers that I present, you can't. 5.88 progressive passes per 90, top 87th percentile for all mids, for all midfielders. This is including attacking mids as well. And he's doing that as a defensive midfielder. 4.45 progressive carries per 90, 65th percentile, above average as a defensive midfielder. He's doing things that aren't even in his role to do. So I don't get what you're saying, Alex. Højbjerg is the best midfielder at our club. No debates. No debates. That's all I have to say.
All I'm going to say, that is a mic drop if there ever was a mic drop.
Right, bruv, he's talking nonsense, bruv. Anyway, moving on.
I've got no, come on, Alex. Respond to Razan. He's giving you. He's
talking absolute nonsense, bruv. I just got to say that
Dermot,
because
I think he responded to Alex earlier. Thank you. I was going to say that basically they've been responding to one another and they've done a very good job of it. I think Alex has presented his opinions quite well, and I think that Izan's countered quite well, saying, "Listen, opinion's fine, but if you throw a bird up in the air, it's likely to fly unless it's a chicken." So I get that as it is. Listen, there is an optimism right now in our club because of some of the signings we've done and the compactness of our squad, right? The stability of the mentality of the squads for one another. We saw an example of that just against Brighton. Because let's face it, to a certain degree, even I had apprehension against Brighton. Because if you look at their recent form, they were just barely drawing, as in they were winning positions, and they just accidentally got themselves into a draw. It's been one of those type of last 5 games for them. So it's been a good track record. When they came up against us, that did not look like the Brighton that I've seen, taking the game to Chelsea. So I think we were a little bit lucky there, but at the same time, it gave an opportunity for our players to say, you know what, let's take the game to them. And they did it from the off. So I think that's positivity. We're going to come forward to Wednesday, right, and have a look to see what we do against Southampton, because Southampton sometimes they do dirty little things to us. They spend 11 players behind the ball. They'll try doing things like that. Hasselhouten knows how to frustrate top teams. He gets good results sometimes. Sometimes he gets spanked 7-0. So I'm hoping that we'll get a 7-1 on Wednesday, and a hat trick for both Sonny and Kane. But Alex, listen, I didn't come on to have a go at you in any way. No. I came on just to make sure that you didn't get too upset, get a little bit too worked up, because sometimes when David comes out with facts, it's hard to deny, bro.
It's hard to
with
the facts. That's fine.
Mr. K.
That's why I say Harry's scout. Because when David starts to go on about players and stuff like that, man, listen, dude, this is Harry's scout, bro. Hashtag it.
I love that.
Yeah?
I love it.
But you are hashtag Mr. Smile, bro. You're hashtag Mr. Smile.
I love it.
But
Mr.
Smile
K,
doesn't equal football,
Mr. K, can I just say one thing? With Dave's stats, he's got the best in the business. Jack's stats man Kaneki behind him.
Oh gosh.
Listen. He had an eye. He had an eye from the beginning.
Oh gosh. Well. Please, honestly, you don't want to give him any more than a bloody ego that he needs to give him an ego. For goodness sake, I've never heard such absolute. I'm trying to say it in a nice diplomatic way because I actually love this guy. I think he's so respectful to me, Dermot.
But Alex, don't get me started on your facts, right? Or your statements, right? Yeah, when you turn around and say things like that.
Honestly, Mr. K. Honestly, Mr. K.
That was wrong. That was naughty. Listen, that was naughty. You turned around and you said Højbjerg, right? Yeah, we saw clearly with our own eyes, everyone did, that when he went to play for the international team, all of a sudden he's got his kahunas and he's got his confidence and he's on the bounce and he's on the front, he's making those passes. But when he was playing for us, he wasn't. So when you talk about a player,
does he get into a Liverpool team? No.
Dude.
Does he get into a Manchester United team? No. Does he get into a Manchester City team? No. Does he get into a Chelsea team?
That's not your point, Alex. Stop reflecting and stop distracting.
Even Fred's bantered him, bro.
Alex, I'm talking, bro. Come on, let me speak 2 seconds, right? I said I don't want to go there, but I just want to correct you on one point. Not because your argument may not be true, but your facts are totally incorrect, right? My point is this: you stated, right, that Højbjerg doesn't have that particular ability to play that particular way.
No, he doesn't.
And I'm telling you that he performed that particular ability while he was playing crap for us in that position. But when he's playing for the national team at the exact same time, right, he was doing the action. No, he was doing the action. So maybe it was system, maybe it was endurance, maybe it's transition, right? But the fact is that Højbjerg as a player last season had the best mentality of our squad. We cannot forget that.
And we finished 7th.
I said our squad, 11 players, 26 players. I'm sorry, 26 players, right? He represented the center of our, the middle of our game, right? He was the one that took it there. He gave it to us. So he's proven his stripes already. You cannot take the stripes away from somebody who's already proved it. You don't need to recognize it again. So I think you're actually being a little bit disrespectful towards the efforts that this particular player has put into our club, right? If a fan did that, we would commend him. Now, a player's doing it. I think that's disrespectful to take it away, right? Yeah, from such a man. I think you're right in terms of what you might say about Winks, right? Yeah, but do not take away the efforts last season that Højbjerg had over Winks by head and shoulders when it comes to being a man on a pitch and wearing the badge. This year, Winks has stepped up, and you know what? He's got good players around him to encourage him, like Skip, for example, like Højbjerg. Do you understand? So I think that's kind of good as a team harmony, and I believe that we've built that now, and it's getting better. And Conte, you know, and I trust in Conte. Look, I haven't come here to have a go at you, Alex. I think some of your views are absolutely entertaining. The only one I took you to town on was that one, because that's just naughty. That's so ignorant. That's wrong, brother.
But I challenge you in what you're saying, because I say to you already.
I think you challenge it. It's facts, bro. For crying out loud. It's in front of our faces. Go back last season. You see it. Cry. Oh my days. Oh my. Listen, Alex, go. So I'm gonna go. See you guys. Like, I can't listen to
this all day, bro. This is so much. This is so much fun.
Alex, good luck, mate. Honestly,
okay, go on, Limbo. Honestly, good luck, Limbo. Good luck, Limbo. Because I'm loving it. I'm loving it because I'm loving it, bro.
Can I just say something? I actually agree what Mr. K has been saying. I actually agree what Alex has. Well, no, I don't agree what Alex has been saying. That's beside the point. But sorry, Alex. You have an opinion. It's respected, but not that much.
I respect his opinion,
but it just doesn't make sense.
Bollocks, though.
Dave has said it tonight. I've said it. Azam has just did a mic drop twice with stats. Mr. K.
He's right about the mentality, though.
He's a far better player than Dele Alli, full stop. At least he cares about wearing the shirt. Dele Alli, all he cares about is where his next TikTok thing is going, and sitting in the back of a limousine, touching his hat. Do we get the manager sacked or not? If that isn't disrespecting your teammates, your club, the manager, I won't say Levy to Jem because I want him out as much as anyone, so I won't mention him. But the club, you wouldn't get the players of the past doing that, Alex. You wouldn't get Graham Roberts, Gary Mabbott.
I think the problem is at the moment.
No, hang on, Alex. You big up these players like Winks, Dele Alli, Gio, other players. What have they done for us? Damn all.
I think the problem is at the moment.
Hang on. When we need the damn players, Alex, where are they? Hiding in the trenches, hiding behind. Tanguy will come on. What's the first thing he do? Run behind another player so nobody can see him. I mean, if we're playing Man United, he'd probably run behind them because he thinks they're a bottle of ketchup or something. But who knows? The disrespect that man shows when he walked off the pitch slowly in the FA Cup game. You wouldn't get Gary Mabbott doing that. Glenn Hoddle, Graham Roberts, Archibald, Crooks, even Danny Blanchflower, Arthur Rowe, Bill Nick, Jimmy Greaves. You wouldn't get them players doing it. So why should we as fans have to pay our good hard-earned money when times are tough at the moment? Times are very tough. People are saving to go to a match. And they sit there for 90 minutes supporting the team they love. And they have to sit there and watch players like Dele Alli and co. not even making an effort. And you can sit there and come on internet with your opinion, which is respected, which is your passion, and we respect your passion, but they're not even giving a damn about the crest on the shirt. I will not accept that from you or anybody.
And I just want to add to that, Dermot. I mean, he sat there and goes, blames Højbjerg for finishing 7th last year or 8th. Didn't blame Ndombele, didn't blame Lo Celso, didn't blame Dele Alli. None of the players who contributed. You know, he doesn't blame them, but straight away blames Højbjerg. Alex, I was just wondering, can you explain that for me, please?
Before he does, I got to go. Listen, guys, good night to you. 30 people out there, please do smash a like if you possibly can. Let's get those likes up a little bit more. Get this channel noticeable. David, it's been an absolute pleasure being on the same panel as you. Alex, wonderful talking to you as always. Izan, brother, it's always good to hear your facts. And Dermot, carry on. That was really passionate, bro. Absolutely love it. And viewers out there, have a great evening, okay? Come on, you Spurs.
Thank you, Mr. K. Go on, Alex.
I need to reply to what you both said, okay? Firstly, I'm not going to get into what's going with fans because that's personal, okay? I'm looking at the football side of things, okay? For me, okay, I blame Højbjerg because he was part of that team, okay, that wasn't good enough to get to the position that we were in, okay? He played most
of
the games, so let me finish. Because you've had your waffle already. Let me have my time to reply to you. My point is that he didn't do enough. Okay, in certain ways as well. I blame Bell as well because he didn't turn up for half a season, and he was the wrong choice for us to get him in as well. So I look at most of the players as well, and that's why what happened in the summer happened because of that mess over that season. So I'm looking at those players as well as just Højbjerg as well. Okay. My point is, like I said about Højbjerg, okay, he might do his best at the moment, but unfortunately, he's not good enough at the moment. He's not doing enough for the team. He looks good when he's got a good player around him. Like Danny says, I totally agree with him. If he had a Kessie behind next to him, you might get a better Højbjerg. But that's not because of Højbjerg. That's because of that player who's a world-class player next to him, making him look good. That's why I say Skip makes him look good.
It's called a partnership, Alex. It's called a partnership.
Well, I still think it's, unfortunately, Højbjerg is dispensable in my eyes because he can't be just doing a job. You know what I mean? You need someone to do more extra, and that's it for me. He does his best. He does certain things that are good sometimes. I think people over egg him a lot of the time. I have to say that because he only played well in a certain 10 minutes of that Leicester game, right? When he was just passing it to the attacking players to do their magic and scoring the goals, unfortunately. So unfortunately, I'm still not convinced with him. Okay, I think I do agree with you. Bentancur will probably maybe take over him because I think one of the two will be taking over his spot because he looks like a player that can go past the lines and try and affect the other half of the attack. That's what we need at the moment, and possession wise, and that's it. But that's my issue with him at the moment, you see. So whether he's got passion or not, I respect that, but he's not good enough, and that's it. And that's the way I look at it.
Right, I'm going to respond. So you look at Wanyama and Moussa Dembele's partnership. Wanyama was the destroyer. Moussa Dembele was the ball carrier and the ball passer. Now, Højbjerg's going to need the same to be able to thrive. Whatever he lacks, you buy another player in that has that ability, and that's why it's called a partnership. That's why it's called a midfield two, and that's how most midfield two works. Whatever one doesn't have, the other one makes up for. So therefore, within the two, you have that complete midfielder. As well, Isan, we're going to tag team Alex on this one. If you don't mind doing me a solid here. I don't know if Alex will be able to handle this, but so I just want to touch on a point that Alex said about Højbjerg about last season. Isan, now I know you're quick with your stats. Can you tell me how many games Højbjerg played for us in across all competitions last year?
Across all competitions last year. Okay, let me just go into the match logs. 2020 to 2021, right?
Yeah.
Okay. there's some Nations League games as well.
Well, minus the Nation Leagues and the internationals, just for Tottenham. How many games across all competitions?
How many games? Just give me a sec.
Okay.
You can talk about another point. I'm just
while you're going through that, Azan, give us a hand up when you've got them. I just want to read out this comment. And yet we know Dele Alli has moved on, but the point we're trying to make is when he was with us, Holberg is a far better player than Dele Alli, full stop, in any team. Kev Williams says, big up Kev Williams, thank you for watching us tonight. Says Dele Alli disrespected our club, fans and his teammates with his poor attitude and behaviour. Holberg is a Trojan who will fight for the Spurs badge until he has nothing left. Cause you can't not disagree with that comment. That is spot on. That's just a mic drop there in itself. And Alex is, go on, Dane.
He has played 54 games.
Okay,
for us.
Can you get up how much Ndombele, Dele Alli, Lo Celso, and Harry Winks contributed as well, please?
Yeah, I can get that up really quick because I know where to look now.
Yeah, so we'll let Alex talk himself into another trap for the remaining minutes until Sam puts up his hands. Because I just want to kind of educate Alex here a little.
I mean, big up lads for coming on. I've really enjoyed this show. This is brilliant. This is called Alex being taken to school, Tottenham style.
So Ndombele has started 35 starts, 47 total appearances. Or so 46 total appearances.
So 35 starts. So that's about 15 less than Højbjerg already. And Højbjerg, when he played alongside him, had to do all of his donkey work. So, that's going to tire him out. Now we'll find out about Dele Alli, Lo Celso, and that. But I think my point is going to be basically, is you look at Højbjerg, we sit there, we complain about him. He's the main reason why we finished 8th last season, when it's not true. It's not true. Højbjerg done his job in that team, which Alex admitted, by the way, saying he looked good in the Jose team because he was turning over ball. Alex said this. This is out of Alex's mouth, right? And then also blames him because we finished 8th. But my point that I'm going to get to is that Højbjerg was consistently rolled out there across all competitions to help this team, while other players were put out there in bits and pieces and never actually really contributed. But Højbjerg was the mainstay. Of course, the guy's going to get tired when you roll him out for 50-odd games a season. And then we say, okay, well, why did we rest Højbjerg? Well, we couldn't rest Højbjerg because Lo Celso, Ndombele, Dele Alli, and Harry Winks could not do anything in the midfield. So my point is, Alex, you can sit there and complain about a guy who has done nothing but help this team and blame him for where we finished last season. But you don't want to talk about all the players that didn't contribute. If they contributed, would we have finished the 8th last season? No. If we got the Ndombele from Lyon, who was fit, would we have finished 8th last season? No. If we had the Dele Alli, the prime Dele Alli, would we have finished 8th last season? No. No, we wouldn't. If we had the Lo Celso we bought from Real Betis, would we have finished the 8th last season? No, we wouldn't. In fact, I argue we would have got top 4 if all of them came and contributed what they were bought into the team to do. Alex, my point as well is that Højbjerg was bought in to be that ball winner because we were too lightweight in midfield. We didn't have that ball winner, so he was brought in to be what Wanyama done for the team. Now we had Ali, Lo Celso, and Ndombele to make up and be the Dembele, to do the passing, to do the dribbling. And they failed every single time they were rolled out, 9 times out of 10 last season. And yet we want to blame Højbjerg, who actually done his job. And again, it reverts back into my point that I started with, and this is why it's a mic drop. It's purely because you buy one midfielder to go and win ball, and you buy the other midfielder that can spray passes, that has that eye, and that's what you call a perfect blend. Ben Kaufman would know a lot about that because he deals with coffee. He knows a lot about perfect blends. But that's the whole idea of what your midfielders are. One is supposed to be the destroyer, and the other one's supposed to be the ball player. Now, Alex, I don't know whether you don't understand that or not. I'm not sure, but basically what I just said is completely screwed all your points there about Højbjerg. It's job done as far as I'm concerned. Go and do your homework.
Am I allowed to respond? Because for me,
I'll be honest with you, I don't want you to, but I'll have to listen to your offer.
Well, David, I'm going to respond because you were chatting the waffle there. To be honest with you, again, but moving on, like, okay, you're comparing him to players that were losing form, so that's not really a barometer to say that he's a class player or anything like that. His game was fitted to Mourinho when he was just defending. Well done.
But it's also working on the content.
Well done. Well done. You're great defender. Well done.
That's why he's the mainstay. That's why he's
well done. And the thing is, you're comparing him when he was at Denmark as well. You say, oh, he did well for Denmark. That's not for Tottenham, though, bro. That's not for Tottenham, though, bro. What is he doing for Tottenham, bruv? You know what I mean? I want to see more of that for Tottenham. You know what I mean? So, I've heard you waffle. I've heard you waffle for 5 minutes now. I've heard you waffle for 5 minutes now.
Sorry.
I've heard you waffle for 5 minutes now. Let me have a chance to come back to what you just said, because you just said to me. You just said to me. Your logic just said to me. Your logic just said to me.
I'm gonna break down.
Alex, hang up. Let Dave respond, please.
You've asked what does he do for Tottenham? Well, I mean, I already gave you the stats 20, 25, 30 minutes ago.
So what? The facts don't make it still doesn't make no difference to me. The thing is, though, on the pitch, he doesn't do enough for Tottenham, as far as I'm concerned. Doing a job don't get you Champions League. Doing a job does not get you championships, as far as I'm concerned. Because the thing is, though, we still rely on Harry Kane. That's the point I make. He's not the world-class. He's not the class player that is going to break the lines and do the things that we need him to do. And that's my argument there. You keep on giving me stats and saying he does this, he does that, he does that.
Well, he does.
A pass to Kane, and he scores from a long way shot. That's an assist. So to me, it doesn't mean no difference to me how many assists he's made, because that's counting as an assist. So, you know what I mean? It's just, I mean, honestly, the arguments of him having all these tackles and everything else, it's pointless tackling in positions that it's just pointless doing a tackle. You know what I mean? It don't make no difference. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't make no difference. Right? It's about seeing what you see on the pitch at the end of the day. And that's what I'm seeing at the moment. He doesn't do enough for me, unfortunately. And trying to tell me, oh, he does well for Denmark.
So you don't see tackles
does he do for Tottenham? Does he do for Tottenham? I heard your waffle already, bro. I don't need to hear it anymore. But yeah,
I just want to say something to you, Alex, right? Look, I can get what you're saying, but the thing is, you're comparing him to Liverpool, who's won a Premier League and a Champions League. You're comparing him to City, who's won multiple Carabao Cups and league titles. You're comparing him to Chelsea, last year's Champions League winners. I mean, I get that. But we're not competing with them this season. But also, why don't you compare him to what we got at the club? And this is my point. You never compare him to what we've got at the club. He is the best midfielder right now at Tottenham Hotspur. He was the best midfielder last season at Tottenham Hotspur. It's facts. He has been the best midfielder with what we've got at the club. Now, you can go and compare him to all them other clubs you want. Compare him to what we have right now, because there's nothing we can do about it until the summer transfer window. So stop deflecting it, comparing him to teams that have won all these trophies. Compare him to what we have. I agree with you. If we want to get there, he might end up finding his way out of the team at some stage. But that's not where we're at. Compare him to Man United's team, who we're competing with for top 4 this season, which you say you want. Is he better than Matt Fred?
Yes. No, he isn't. No, he isn't. No, he isn't. Oh, why did I say no? Yes. No, he isn't. He isn't. He isn't. He isn't. He isn't better than McTominay. No, he isn't. He's definitely not better than Pogba, because we want him to be a box-to-box midfielder.
Pogba doesn't need to get into the midfield, so we're not talking about Pogba. We're talking about their 2 starting midfielders.
Yeah, well, I'm saying to you now, those two are not better than them. We're not better than them. They're not better than them. No, he's not, because he'll get bantered by them. I'll tell you that every single time, 100%. He will do.
No, hang on. Stats prove that he's better than them. Anyway. Would he get
into, we go back to stats.
Would he get into the Arsenal? Would he get into Arsenal's midfield? Yes, he would.
Yes.
Okay, Arsenal terrible side though.
Maybe
Arsenal a terrible side.
Maybe not West Ham's team, because they have Rice and Soucek, and I actually like them. Maybe he might not get in there. But my point is, let's compare him to who we're actually challenging with. Let's stop going off into your fantasy land, comparing him with City and Liverpool and stuff like that. I get it, right? But compare him with what we have at the club. He's our best midfielder at this club. It's simple.
No, he's not. Skip is our best midfielder because he makes him look good. 100% makes him look good.
Skip wasn't here last season.
Skip makes him look good.
How does Skip
forget him last season? Last season, Mourinho's team bored me to death, man. You know what I mean? Last season's team bored me to death because it's Harry Kane FC, some Kane FC. Because when they weren't playing, we weren't playing. So for me, that's a pointless argument as far as I'm concerned. I'm judging it on this season.
You talk about wanting to win league titles and stuff like that, and then you talk about us being Kane FC and Son FC. Well, I mean, Liverpool is Mane and Salah FC. Man City is De Bruyne FC. At the end of the day, we can all pick certain players out. But my point is, if we want to get where you say you want to get to, which I doubt, because every time you win, you're unhappy. But if we really do get where you say you want to get to, but then we need them sort of players in every single position.
But world-class players are not coming to the Tottenham team anytime soon, bro. I keep on saying that. Okay. You don't need world-class players because look at Brighton's team. Do they have world-class players? Do Leicester team have world-class players? Do West Ham have world-class players? They've beaten Chelsea. They've beaten Chelsea. Have we beaten Chelsea, by the way? Have we beaten Chelsea? Have we beaten Chelsea? We couldn't even beat them 3 times, bro. 3 times.
Top of the league.
3 times. We couldn't beat them. So you telling me we need world-class players to do that at the moment, bro? They're not coming to our top club.
Alex, you can't use the one-off result.
And no, hang on, because I want to correct this as well. I hear people banging on about Brighton. Oh, well, they've got a result against City. They got a result against Liverpool. They got a result against Chelsea. I mean, we bet Man City. We drew at Liverpool, but Spurs fans don't want to talk about that. Or Alex doesn't want to talk about that. But he wants to talk about the one game he's watched this season where Brighton bet Chelsea or got a result off Chelsea. It's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, honestly, Alex, you talk about wanting to win Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues, and now you're comparing us to Brighton Football Club. The biggest thing they've achieved is getting brought up from League 2 to the Premiership and having a new stadium. But you're comparing us to Brighton, man. Brighton, who, may I add, they're draw specialists. They've drew 12 games this year. 5 out of their 6 wins came in the first 7-8 games of this season. They have barely won games since then. Alex, you're comparing us to Brighton, man. I can't have this.
Because he's a team, Bob. They're a team. That's the whole point. Individually, we're better than them, obviously.
So what are you talking about?
No, Bob, they are a better team, and it's obvious.
Hang on,
Dermot, you need to speak. Dermot, you need to speak. Dermot, you need to speak.
Let them treat one. What are you talking
about? You've said this before on Sean's channel, and you said Leicester are better than us. Leicester got beat 4-1 by Nottingham Forest today, a championship side. Brighton are not better than us. I don't know what world you're living in, football-wise. I think it must be the same deluded world that Levy lives in. We will attract world-class players because we are a big club. We are Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. We're not a small club. We're a big club. We'll always will be a big club.
If I had his way, we'd be down in Division 2.
Yeah. And another thing as well, Alex, I want to make a point. You go through Tottenham through the history. You go through Dave Mackay, John White in the 60s, the Super Spurs. Mackay, a hard tackling man. John White was the man to unlock the defence of any team. We've got Steve Perriman. That man was as somebody once called him, Bobby Robson, the babyface assassin. That man was evil. He was a legend, but that man on a football pitch, he could really take players down. You had Graham Roberts, you had Paul Miller. We've had great sides over the years. We're the mighty Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, and you're comparing us to Brighton and Leicester. We're nothing like them. We're a far better club than them, and I don't agree with that one iota. Honestly, I do not agree. We will get top 4 this season, and you will come on here and say, I'm sorry, I've got it wrong.
Okay, right. Going back to your point of what you said, I stick to what I say because the fact is, I'm not going on individually. I'm not going on history. I'm not going on history because that's a different kettle of fish.
It's not a different kettle of fish.
It's a far. Well, yeah, you far different, but I'm not referring to history. I'm not referring
You've got
to
to look
individual.
back, Alex. You have to look back through the years to show that Holberg. You could put Holberg in the 80s side. I would put him in the 80s side. I would put him in the early 90s side. I would put him in with the likes of Graham Roberts, Glenn Hoddle, Dave Mackay, John White, Stevie Perriman. We've had players like that all the way around, and I'm sorry, we are a big club, and if you can go and watch them and think we're no bigger than Brighton or Leicester, well, you're going in with a losing mentality.
No,
completely.
but you're not listening to the context. I've said, I'm not talking about the history. This is the thing. You're not listening to the context.
Yeah, but you've got to have the history in there, Alex.
Yeah, but the history is not what I'm referring to. That's not where I'm referring to. Individually, I'm not referring to that because that's the reason why we won the game, in my opinion, yesterday, because we had the better players, the better players up front to score the goals. Because mistakes from Brighton cost them the game, as far as I'm concerned. Son making that fantastic run, getting through, then Kane scoring that goal. That only happens because you've got two world-class players doing that. Brighton don't have world-class players. Mope's useless. You know what I mean? He's just a wind-up merchant, as far as I'm concerned. You know what I mean? So that is why we won the game. In terms of us as a team, though, no, we're not. Brighton are a better team than us because they understand each other, the chemistry is right, and there's no egos there. That's the thing. I think Conte can sort that out, possibly. That's what he's trying to do at the moment.
When Conte came in, we went 9 unbeaten.
I don't care, bro. I don't even know why. I don't even know why we're bringing that up. I don't even know why we're bringing that up because I said to you already, all those performances were useless to me. Liverpool performance was the best performance for me, 100%. I stick by that every single time. So you can tell me that about this unbeaten stupid run that we're talking about. That was by default, bro, because we only won those games by luck, as far as I'm concerned.
What?
Because certain games, some of those games, we were very, very lucky. The only game that I felt we were absolutely fantastic was Liverpool, and I stick by that. I've been to every single home game, and I know that for a fact, bro. So don't get me started on that one, bro. You know what I mean? Because I got fed up of hearing that.
Let me counter. So
right, can I just sorry, Dave? Can I read this question for you and Azan, and then there's one for you, Alex, as well. So Alex, can you just let Dave and Azan respond to Premier Hotspur, and then there's one for you. He says, Dermot, I disagree when I said we were a big club. He says, Dermot, I disagree with you. Not a big club until we start winning big trophies, my friend. I'll start with you, Dave, and then I'll go to Roseanne. What do you say to Premier Hotspur TV on that question, that comment?
First of all, big up, Simon. I hope you're keeping well, my man. Well, does that make United not a big club anymore? For me, history is what makes big clubs. Having that history. Yes, you can go through barren spells, which we've been going through, but you can't deny we're a big club. We have the history. Liverpool, when they were going through their 30-something years without winning the league, did people say they weren't a big club? No, they didn't. They were still a big club. History is what makes a big club, in my opinion, and I get it. We're pissed off with the barren spell, but you can't discredit our history, and history is what makes big clubs, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, totally agree with you, Dave. Azan, do you want to say something to the Premier?
Well, so there's a lot of metrics to determine what's a big club. So, like, history, fan base, and I guess recent successes to an extent also make us a big club. So, in terms of fan base and stadium, yes, we are a big club. And in terms of recent successes, I would also say yes, just based on the league positions that we almost always finish in the top 6, if not the top 4. And another thing that I will say is that our last trophy was in 2008, right? Which seems like a while, and I will admit it is a while. But compared to all the other teams in the Premier League, that is the 7th shortest trophy drought compared to all other teams in English football. Teams like Everton's a big club, right? They haven't won a trophy in 27, 28 years. Newcastle's a big club. They've gone even longer than us without a trophy. So I would say yes, we are a big club by every single metric: fan base, facilities, and even success and history as well. We are a big club, undoubtedly.
And can I respond to Alex's point now about us not being a team? Well, I mean, I've always been told when I've been playing football and listening to managers and stuff and a lot of people in the game that the signers of a good team, and if we're going by Alex's logic that we didn't play well in any of them games, the signers a good team that even if you don't play well, you still get the result and you still get the win. And so if we're going by Alex's logic, we still are a team. And I mean, he's going on about Brighton being a team. Well, they can't win games. What sort of team is that?
Yeah, that's very true. I agree with you, Dave, and they're a brilliant answer. So big up Simon. We may not.
I totally agree with what he's saying there, because I have to say this, right? Is that the fact is, okay, and this is where people don't want to understand this at the end of the day, because I've mentioned this before about Kane and Conte, and I'm going to mention it again. The reason why I think Conte is going to leave is because he's already spoken to Levy. He's said what he's said already. He's given him warnings already. Like, he wants the Premier League. He wants the Premier League. Now, if he doesn't get the Premier League, if he doesn't feel that he's going to get the Premier League, he's leaving. Simple as that. And Kane wants the Premier League. He knows whether he gets the goal record for Tottenham, he does everything for Tottenham. He knows he will not be a legend in the Premier League because he hasn't done anything major. Gerrard knew it because he wanted the Premier League. He only got the Champions League. He's still a legend at Liverpool. The main thing about top players is that they want to win the major leagues. And Kane ain't leaving to go abroad anytime soon. He ain't going to do it because he's got a young family. He's going to stay. He wants to stay in the Premier League. So as far as I'm concerned, if Tottenham want to do stuff, okay, it's not good enough. And Conte said it already. It's not my words. Look back at what he said already. His press conferences. He said it already. He said, I don't want to think about top four. I want to win the Premier League.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
And just to add to that, Alex, you talk about Big H. You talk about Harry Kane. I suppose you probably missed this, or it doesn't suit your point, so you didn't bring it up. But Conte also took the job because he was impressed we actually kept Harry Kane. And that's one of the main reasons why Conte took the job. And if you're Antonio Conte, like you said, and he's sitting there talking about winning league titles, as a manager, are you sitting there thinking, do you know what, Harry Kane's my problem here. I'm going to have to sell him to win league titles. Or are you looking at Harry Kane and going, well, hang on, there's a guy that guarantees me 20, 30 goals a season. If I sell him, I'm going to have to spend that money trying to replace him. Am I going to win league titles with Harry Kane in the team? Yes, I am. So you're kind of contradicting yourself then with what you're saying now about Conte compared to what you said earlier on about Harry Kane. Can you explain this one for me, Alex, please?
No, I wasn't contradicting myself because
it's a contradiction. I told you are contradicting.
No, I'm not contradicting myself because I said to you already that he has outgrown the team because he wants more at this team. As far as I'm concerned, he wants to go to a level where he wants to win major trophies. That's what he wants, and until he gets that, he's not going to be fulfilled. As far as I'm concerned, and you can see
you're
it
right
in his face.
Alex, you're not answering my question. You're avoiding my question. That what you said there is completely right. But earlier on, you said we need to move on from Harry Kane. We need to sell him this, that, and the other. But now you're sitting there saying Conte wants trophies, and if we want trophies, we need to do this, that, and the other. But if Conte wants trophies, surely he's sitting there looking at Harry Kane and saying, well, I need to keep him because he's going to score the goals to get me the trophies, rather than sell him. So you are contradicting yourself. So
I'm not contradicting myself at all because I said to you already, if Kane doesn't feel that he's going to win a Premier League, you've got to let him go because he won't sign a contract.
You're avoiding my question.
And he's outgrown the
You're avoiding my question.
I'm not avoiding your question. I've said to you already. I've said to you already, okay, he's outgrown this team, okay, and if he doesn't feel that he's going to win the Premier League with Tottenham, he will leave. So it's not a case.
Answer my question.
What's the question then? What's
so
the question
earlier on, you were saying about selling Harry Kane. He's outgrown Tottenham. We need to sell him because we rely on him. But now you're talking about Conte winning trophies. But surely, if Conte wants to win trophies, surely keeping Harry Kane is at the core part of his plan to win trophies.
Well, you can look at it like that, yeah. But the point is that if he wants to win, yeah. If he doesn't feel that he's going to win the Premier League, that's my argument against it. I say to you that if he doesn't feel that he's going to win the Premier League with Tottenham, and he feels that Conte's getting frustrated and he's going to leave, he's pointless to Tottenham because he's going to feel deflated again, like he was at the beginning of the season. So that's the point I'm making.
Saying, but again, maybe you missed this, or again, maybe you're not bringing it up because it doesn't suit your point. But did you listen to Harry Kane's words on Antonio Conte the other day?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so you just didn't want to bring it up because it didn't suit your point then?
No, it's not that at all. I can see he's happy. You know what I mean? An elite manager makes you happy. Yes, it does. But the point I make is at the moment, I'm not convinced at the moment because until
so let me get this
next season, I can't call it at the moment still.
Harry Kane is sitting there telling you he's happy, but you don't believe it. I mean, what more can we do here, guys? I mean, he wants to ignore things that are blatantly said from the horse.
Bro, it's easy to say that in an interview, bro.
Again, Alex talks about getting rid of Harry Kane, this, that, and the other, but then talks about Conte winning trophies. I think I've just spun you in circles on this debate, to be honest, Alex.
Yeah, I just want to actually get this last question, and then we'll get the last answers. Then I want to go around then for the game on Wednesday for Southampton to get your thoughts and your score predictions. And that, because we're sort of 8 minutes away from 3 hours, so we're going to get 3 hours if we can, and we'll call it there. I'll start with you on this one, Alex, and then I'll go to Dave. If you're still there, Dave, or we'll go to Azon. Is it Azon? Sorry if I got your name wrong. Izhan. Sorry, I do apologise.
All good.
Sorry. Then I go to Dave, and then I get your score predictions. Kev Williams says Spurs have a huge history, and the club to make many firsts through the decades. Of course, we are a big club, and we're heading in the right direction with Conte. Start with you first, Alex. What do you say to Kev Williams?
Okay, again, the history is no doubt. We have got history. I'm not going to disrespect that because that's ridiculous. You know what I mean? I'm talking about recently. At the moment, we're not a team, and the whole focus from the fans is more on Conte, not the team, not the whole club in general. And for me, that's dangerous. That's dangerous. That's massively dangerous in a lot of ways for me, because you want more a team. You know what I mean? A more team that you can identify with as well, not just the manager. You know what I mean? So for me, that's a very much a danger. What was the other part of your question, Dermot?
I believe Dermot is going to the bathroom.
Oh, okay. What was his question? What was his other question? Sorry.
Are we heading in the right direction under Conte?
I think at the moment he knows what he's doing. I will say that at the moment there's certain things I don't agree with. You know what I mean? Like the formation, for instance, 3-4-3 doesn't work for me. Sorry. I think in stages like yesterday proved it for me. So I think we're better in the 5, to be honest with you. I think he needs his players, especially at fullback. I know people are saying about Emerson, he's going to give him a chance. I think it's a Guardiola situation. He will want better fullbacks. I think that's reality check, unfortunately for me. But yeah, I think we are there. We're getting to places. Yes, I don't think we're anywhere near the top 4. No, I think that's going to take a lot of time. I stick by what I say. We're not getting 70 points or more. So for me, top 4 is no way happening in my eyes. So FA Cup, I think FA Cup we might have a chance, But again, that depends on whether players will step up if we have injuries, meaning Kane and Son, because that Kane injury will happen later part of the season. It will happen. It always happens. So I want to see what happens then. You know what I mean? I think Bergwijn should have started yesterday. I've got to say that 100% because Moura was useless yesterday. I've got to be honest. So yeah, go on.
Let me just quickly ask you a question on top four. Do you think it will be 70 points though this year? Because I mean, you look at who's in the race. Is any of them really going to reach 70 points? Do you think?
Man United will get there at a push.
On the record,
they'll get there at a push.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Arsenal, forget them. Like I don't. No. With Arteta in charge, no. They're not getting 70 points or more.
Taking turns, Alex, on who gets sent off each week.
Oh well, bro. Honestly, that game when we got beaten by them, it was ridiculous. We should have beaten. We should have. Well, bro, I didn't get hurt, but for me, that team was average. You know what I mean? And like we should have at least got a draw out of it. Skip playing, get a draw out of that game, 100%. You know what I mean? But and it wound me up that the game getting postponed. To be honest with you, that game should have been played. You know what I mean? That was Arsenal. I don't want to get into that because I'm touching some dangerous ground there. I don't want to go there. But like I said, I think at the moment it is between Man United and Tottenham, and you can say West Ham. You know what I mean? But I'm sorry, unfortunately, they're not.
What about Brighton? What about Brighton? I thought they were better than us. Why aren't they
Leicester?
And
Leicester as well.
Leicester as well. I thought they were better than us. Why aren't they in the top four?
You're not listening to me again. You're not listening to me again. So
Alex works for Brighton because
you're not listening to me again. I didn't say to you. I said they're better as a team. You're not listening to me. This is the thing I love about this. Is that you're not listening to the team aspect. Individually, they're better. Individually, we are better. 100%. Obviously, as a team, they are better than us. Simple as that. Get over it.
Let me make this
that's
simple
it.
for you, Alex.
It's over it.
Alex, let me make this simple for you when you're talking about the team aspect. So you mentioned team. Fair enough. So it was 11 players, which is a team, versus 11 players, which is a team. And the better team won on the day, which was Tottenham Hotspur. So we are a team. I mean, one as a team.
No, we do. No, we're not, Bo, because that was individually. No, we didn't win. But no, I'm sorry. No, you're
Alex,
wrong there.
You keep moving
you're wrong
the
there.
goalposts.
You are wrong. You are wrong there.
Can I just say? Sorry, Alex. Sorry, Alex. Did everyone say? Did everyone have to send the Kev Williams quote?
No, Izan hasn't said anything. Izan hasn't said anything.
Right. Okay, Dave, I'll get up for you again. I'm sorry, I just had to pop away from it. Where is it? Oh, yeah. That's it there. Just very quickly, Dave. We're getting to that. Get your answer to that, and then we'll do score predictions for the Wednesday game.
No, let Isan in. Isan's being patient. Let Isan in.
Huh?
Okay, so...
go on, Azan.
What Kev is saying, I 100% agree with. Kev is spot on. Absolutely spot on. Our history in and of itself make us a big club. Our league position finishes and everything about us, our large fan base, even our stadium makes us a big club. And are we heading in the right direction with Conte? Or he says we are heading in the right direction with Conte. Yes, we are. We saw as soon as Conte came in, we went 8 games unbeaten. The only team we've lost to is Chelsea, who squad wise are just far better than us. So fair enough. We got a big result against Liverpool as well. A good draw at home. So yes, we are heading in the right direction. In the summer, if Conte gets back, he brings in the players that he wants. We can we can definitely do a lot of damage next season. So yes, we are heading in the right direction under Conte.
Yeah. Dave, same to you as well.
No, look, not just under Conte, but under Paratici's guidance. Look, Steve Hitchen got us into this mess. He spent the money. He brought He brought quantity in over quality. We've seen that. You look at the Mourinho window we had. He brought in 7 players. That's quantity over quality. Since Paratici's come in, he's cleaned out most of Steve Hitchen's signings. He's completely ripped apart the scouting network that he put in place. And for me, he's now resigned. I actually think he should have been sacked, to be honest with you. I think we kind of let him resign more out of favour than anything else. But Paratici has come in. He's completely cleared out all the signings. He's got in Romero, who was the best defender on the pitch yesterday. Emerson Royale, who for me, I know a lot of people give him criticism, but he's better than Doherty and Serge Aurier. He's brought in Bentancur, who I think is going to be the glue to get us getting top 4 this season in terms of midfield. He's brought in Gill, I think more one for the future. I'm actually disappointed he was loaned out, but if he's not going to get game time, I'd rather loan him out than stagnate. And Galini was brought in as emergency cover because they didn't know what was going on with Hugo Lloris's contract situation. And for me, the way he structured the deals are absolutely brilliant. And the fact that he's got off the deadwood that Steve Hitchen failed to do in terms of Dele Alli, Lo Celso, and Ndombele. And we now, because he's done that, we can now act on all the free contracts, all the players that are coming out of contracts. We can now offer them wages that are acceptable. And we can also buy first in the summer rather than having to sell first, which completely changes our business model. And the reason why it was sell first under Steve Hitchen rather than buy first was because we had so much deadwood, we couldn't keep adding to that wage bill. And for me, I think you look at the window we've just had, it's clear to see that, and with what Paratici said in his interview after the window, is that he believes in quality over quantity, and we've seen a reflection of that in the window. And since that window has happened, I actually sit here, I can see a vision. I think getting the players off has been a massive lift off my shoulders, other Spurs fans' shoulders, and the team and the club. And I just think, look, obviously it depends on how they decide to act this summer, but as in terms of now, I think there's only positives going forward. Alex, go on. I know you have your hand up.
Okay. Firstly, I have to correct David because after listening to Alistair Gold, Hitchin was the fall guy. The fall guy of Levy. Well. That's what I'm hearing. And
all right. Okay. So you want to counter me on that? First of all, go and do your own research and don't listen to what other people tell you. That's number one key, because let's run through the 19 signings Steve Hitchen made. Okay, 19. Joe Rodon, not good enough. We're looking to get rid of him. Carlos Vinicius, loan deal, absolutely crap. Was never going to buy him. Jedson Fernandez, Matt Doherty, Gazzaniga, who's now been and gone. Who else have we got? Lo Celso, Endon Fadas, Stevie B, Hoiberg, Reguilon, Gareth Bale. The list goes on. Joe Hart, Session, Clark. I done a thing the other day out of 19 signings Steve Hitchen made.
No, I don't agree with that, Bo.
14 of them were flops.
No, I'm sorry.
Right, I'm going to get them.
Bo, that's wrong. Bo, it's wrong. It's wrong. It's completely wrong.
Alex, let Dave finish.
I haven't even finished. I didn't even get a chance to finish. He interrupted me, so that's the thing.
You counted my point with what Alistair Gold said. I'm talking to Alex Davies, not Alistair Gold. Okay?
Yeah.
So let's get that straight. But I'm just going to get up the signings that this guy made. And we're going to let the fans decide this. People that are viewing in.
Oh, for goodness sake. It's not the truth, bro.
No, it is.
It's not the truth.
Well, look.
It's not the truth.
I'm going to. No, look. Dermot, if you don't mind, it's your channel.
No,
all right?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
And let the people viewing
decide
whether they're flop or not. Okay, Gazzaniga. Flop or.
That's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous.
Well, hang on,
Alex. I'm sorry.
Alex, I can only judge Steve Hitchen off the signings he made. I can't make
that. Yeah, but we're not going on what people are saying. We're going on facts at the end of the day.
No, you're going on what Alistair Gold is saying. You just said that a minute ago.
I looked at Alistair Gold, what he's saying.
I'm the teacher. I'm not finished. Okay,
okay, you're not the teacher.
Alex,
we're looking at the facts.
I sat there and let you speak. Now let me speak.
I've listened to you just what you speak. You just said what you said. You said everything you just said. I'm coming back to what you say. I'm saying to you now, you're wrong. You are wrong. Because like I said before, no, you are wrong. You are wrong.
You listening to Alistair Gold?
No, I'm listening to Alistair Gold, yes, because he goes with facts. He goes with facts.
Is it me or
he goes with facts?
Alistair Gold told him.
Yes, because he goes with facts. You're telling me, you're saying that Hitchin, if he got Skriniar, if he got Fernandez, if he got Dybala, if he got all those players that everybody was banging on about, right, which he negotiated and got advanced talks, you're only going on the documentary, which, to be honest, the documentary was hyped up. Let's just go on like that as well,
all right,
because it was hyped up.
We're talking about Steve Hitchin.
No, yeah, well, I'm not changing the goalposts. I'm saying the facts, right? If Levy, because he was the fall guy, if Levy negotiated well for those players would have been at Tottenham. It was Levy's fault. Okay, which
tried to do the negotiations.
No, he didn't.
Alex, it's not Levy. Levy's not the guy who's scouting players.
That is completely wrong. That is completely wrong, Izan. I'm sorry. No. I'm gonna finish because I'm gonna go on what I've heard already, and I'm sorry. I'm not listening to this. I've heard from what I got, and he's mostly correct. I'm sticking to what I'm saying on this one, and I'm gonna stick to it. I had to have some humble pie on it as well because he got the right managers in as well for what he said, and they all said no. They all said no because they knew that our club was in a mess because of Levy. So I'm gonna stick up for Hitchin on this one. Okay, what I'm saying to you is he got all those players into advanced stages. Okay, he went back to Levy and said negotiate the contract. He messed it up. He's the one that messed it up. So I'm sorry, you're wrong. You are completely and utterly wrong. And the players that came in were the players, unfortunately, that would have ended up coming to Tottenham because we couldn't get the players what we wanted. So the fact is that it was Levy's fault, and I'm going to stick to that as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, we've heard you now, so it's Levy's fault. I get that. Okay. First of all, if I'm Levy, I get the Levy out 100%. I agree with a lot of it, but if I'm Daniel Levy and I'm employing someone to do their job and they haven't done it, I mean, they also have to take responsibility. I don't think we can't sit here and not attach him to what he's done. Second of all, you're going off what Alistair Gold has said to you, not doing your own research. I've actually done my own research, and I'm going to go through the 19 signings now that you're finished speaking. I'm going to go through the 19 signings that Steve Hitchin was responsible for bringing to this club. Gazaniga, flop, and sold since. One Fight, flop, and sold since. Aurier, flop, sold since. Sanchez, flop. Jack Clark, flop, nowhere near the first team. De Celso, flop, gone. Ndombele, flop, gone. Sessegnon hasn't cut it. Steven Bergwijn, 2 goals against Leicester, still doesn't cut it. Jedson Fernandez, Joe Hart, Matt Doherty, Rodon, Vinicius. Okay? Then you look at the ones that you give credit to. Mora, Llorente, Bale, Reguilon, and Højbjerg. But you don't give credit to Højbjerg. So if we're going by your analysis, we put Højbjerg up there with the rest of them. So that's now 15 signings that Steve Hitchin has made, right? Which equate to over nearly 350 million worth of players there, okay? That Steve Hitchin has wasted that money on. So he doesn't have to take responsibility for any of that, considering he was in charge of doing the scouting and the negotiation. Yet we say we say Daniel Levy couldn't get the deals over the line. We've just got Bentancur and Kulusevski in from Juventus, but yet we couldn't get Dybala. We've just got Romero in when all other top clubs around Europe wanted him. Look, you can go off what Alistair Gold is telling you, but what I'm presenting to you here is facts. Steve Hitchin signings, 14 out of 19 have been absolutely flops. Now, we talk about the players that he couldn't get over the line because we didn't offer enough money or he didn't have the nous to structure the deals the way that Paratici is structured it. 115 million combined on the Celso and Ndombele. 115 million combined.
Yeah, but that was not his fault though, bro. But that was not his fault though, bro. That was Pochettino's fault. It's admitted he wanted him. He wanted them. So I don't understand what you're saying. And if you're telling me Paratici is any good, you're having a laugh, bruv. You are having a laugh. 2 rejects from Juventus, bruv. 2 rejects from Juventus, bruv. That you came from your old club, bruv. And you're telling me he's a great player. A DM. No, he isn't, bruv. He's not.
Lads.
Hang on. Alex needs to dress him down, right? He wants.
No, hang on, Dave.
Sorry,
Dave.
Okay. No, sorry. just quickly. Yeah. But Alex wants to know that Bentancur has been in the Juve team for the last 5 years, and he's won Serie A titles. He wants to ignore that up until this season, Bentancur or Kulusevski has been in the team as well. He's talking absolute crap. He goes on about Pochettino wanting these players. Okay, but let's ignore that massive interview that Pochettino done that summer, where he clearly sat there and stated, I'm in charge of coaching the players that the club bring in. I am a coach, not a manager. But Alex wants to ignore that to suit his agenda. But on the same breath, complains and compares what we have now to the Pochettino squad. He is talking himself all over the shop here. Since I've come on, I've run him ragged. I've let him talk himself into holes that he can't get out of. And I've produced actual facts, statements, and facts to back up my points. And now he's just talking shite. It's like, look, in order to suit his agenda, no, I'm sorry, but in order to suit his agenda, he's going to sit there and say there are 2 bench warmers at Juve. It's false. I'm sick of it. He sat there all week crying about Dele Alli, but then criticizes new players that are bought in to try and improve this situation, even though them players are the ones that got us into this situation. He's talking absolute waffle.
Right. I'm actually going to pause this debate because there will be a round 2 on this channel between Dave and Alex. To be fair,
I've absolutely spun him.
I know that, Dave.
You not spun me, bruv. I'm still breathing, bruv, and I'm still here. I'm just respecting this gentleman here that's doing the show, bruv. I've got to respect this gentleman up here, bruv, because Dermot's a gentleman, bruv, and honestly, I've enjoyed it, bruv. Honestly, you're a gentleman, bruv. Honestly,
thank you.
Thank you for getting him back from hiding. By the way, David's been hiding so long, bruv. I've been trying to find him, bruv. Honestly,
Alex, look. I think you've been doing a bit of hiding. Dave's been working hard on the streams with Jack. You've been sort of ducking and diving, doing a bit of Del Boy here and there, bit of ducking and diving. Dave's been doing his homework. He schooled you tonight. Let's admit that.
No, he did school me tonight. No, he did not school me tonight. No, he did not school me tonight. Oh, yeah, having a laugh, bruv.
Right.
Bruv, you're asking for the round 2 now, bruv. You're asking now for round 2 now, bruv. Honestly, this guy has not schooled me.
Alex, the common theme we can take from today is that you say one thing, I come up with facts that people at the club have said and everything else, and then you move the goalpost. You know, you start talking about other things. You say one thing, and then people at the club have said things to contradict you, and I don't know. I just don't get it. I think it's a common theme throughout this show.
Right. Well, can I just say it's been an absolute pleasure for everyone's on the code, Mr. K and everyone. Dave, where can people find you, sir? And thank you for coming on to my show. It's always an honour to have, as I call you, the mothership on this show. Dave, go on. Blast the 2 channels, yours and Jack channels as well.
Yeah, first of all, I want to say sorry for talking over you there at the end. I know myself as a host how difficult it can be, and I should have respected that. But look, we also know how much Alex talks waffle and he winds you up when he doesn't talk facts. So I do apologise. But if people do want to find me, you can find me over at the Irish Hotspur, Harry Kane's #1 fan as well. If you love Harry as much as I do, get over there and smash that subscribe button. If you love Hoiberg as much as I do, get over there and smash that subscribe button. But most importantly, smash that subscribe button here on Tottenham Tantrum Gold. Absolute superb channel. Love the three boys. Well, I say 4 because I include Ben too. So the 4 guys on this channel, Phil, Dermot, Kuba, and Ben, absolute gentlemen. And believe it or not, I actually do respect Alex and I actually do like him. I think he talks absolute crap, but I do like the guy. So please do get over there and subscribe to Alex THFC as well.
Thank you, Dave. Dave, can you put your channel link into the private chat so I can put it into the chat for you?
Yeah.
If you can. So I'll do that for you. As I tell you, it's your debut tonight on our channel. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on. You really do have, and I have to get you on a few shows about your Tottenham story. Absolutely would love to hear that in Your Time Spurs 11. As where can people find you as well, sir?
You know, I don't have a channel, but I'm always on like the Irish Hotspur. I'm on Sean's as well, Spurs Talk Show. If you want to, you can follow me on Instagram. I guess it's HunkCon22. It's the exact same as my YouTube. You know, overall, I really enjoyed the debate, even though it was pretty one-sided in David's favor. But yeah, overall, pretty good. And obviously, guys, subscribe to Tottenham Tantrum Gold. Really good channel. They show off a lot of Spurs history, some of the best moments. So, hit a like on the stream as well and subscribe.
Thank you very much, Azza. And Alex, again, this is your second time on here. Was it your first time on here or second time?
First time.
You're on mute, man.
First time.
Yeah, also put your channel in the link in the private chat, and I'll put it into the chat for you. Where can people find you, sir?
Yeah, it's Alex THFC. I don't understand why people are saying I'm talking absolutely waffle. You didn't school me, David. Honestly, I've never heard such absolute waffle in my whole life, bro. Honestly, even if you have facts, it's absolute nonsense anyway. Izan, you play too much FIFA. Anyway, moving on. But
I don't even own FIFA. Alex, I literally don't even own the game.
Thank you for everybody. Like I said before, like it's Alex THFC. I do need to do some more content and stuff, but I'm trying to do some, tactics and showing why I've got my feelings on Tottenham at the moment. So yeah, that's taken a bit longer than I wanted, but yeah, that's me at the moment. Yeah, and big up to Dermot and David Harris and Izan as well for the debate today. And yeah, will be a second round because honestly, I've never heard such nonsense in my whole life. But anyway, moving on.
Dave, did you put your link into the private chat so I can get that off you, sir?
Yeah, I put it in there, lad. I'm just in the process of changing my channel name to School Alex. Yeah, okay. Again.
I can't see it in there, Dave.
No, I put it there. Oh, maybe I did. Oh, I don't know. Hasn't gone in there, but it doesn't matter. The Irish Hotspur it will be changed to hashtag Alex do your homework again. So.
Well, listen, everyone, thank you very much for watching tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure. 34 people, please like and subscribe. We'll be back in the morning at 11:30 with our morning show with Ben at his coffee shop with my mate Coover as well. Big up to Coover and Hollywood Phil and Ben, who are all having the night off. And let me loose on my own. I don't think that was a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know, but we'll find out. But big up, everyone. Just big up. Thank you very much for watching. And come on, you Spurs, and leave you out.
Yeah, big up. I just want to say a massive, Dermot, quickly before we end. Thank you so much for giving me the easiest debate of all time. You're an absolute gentleman.
Yeah. Stop it, David. Honestly, talking rubbish. Honestly,
Dave, I'll buy you a pint next Sunday.
Gosh, thank you, everybody.
See you in the morning, everyone. God bless.